Hey, JMTV audience, I'm pretty sure it's show 57, and thank God we're back in the studio. Oh my God, last week we did it from the boat club, and whereas it was very fun to do it from the boat club, it felt weird. It was like trying to make this work when you're not in a box on a screen on the cloud is a different thing, and we're going to do more of that this summer. I don't know how it's going to work, but I mean, what did you think of it, Bill Nallman?
Well, Ed, I think you know what I thought. It was weird. It was weird. It was like, it was kind of, I guess what's weird, the banter was weird. Well, the music was weird too, because we didn't really have like the normal standard of a sound system kind of thing. And
right, we're jury rigged last minute there.
Yeah, completely jerry rigged. And it worked fine. It was also, it was cold. It was like, where's my cocktail? I'm warm here.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely felt weird. It was great to see people. Like everybody had their shots. As far as I know, everybody there had their shots, and it was only like, how many performers did we have? 6, 5, 4?
Something like that. But relatively speaking, it was a great crowd to performer ratio, and B, it was a decent turnout in its own little tiny way, because it was thrown together at the last minute, and it was.
That's right. And I think in the future, if I'm gonna do this again, which I probably will, I think as we start emerging, and by the way, I have not changed my tune. That sort of happened very opportunistically, and I wanted it to be outdoors with very few people. I didn't announce in advance. I'm not coming. People are like, you're coming back. We're doing the jam. In fact, one person said to me tonight, I'll see you at the boat club. I'm like, no, you will not see me at the boat club tonight. Because I really don't think it's ready yet. The numbers are not there yet. The optimism is there. The hope is there. The economy's coming back, but the numbers are not where they need to be doing live music. And I've had fights with a variety of musicians where I'm like, no. And they're like, what do you mean? It's fine. It's over. And I'm willing to take my chances.
Well,
I'm like,
for starters, I think you need 100% vaccination, and everybody's all like, it's fucking Orwell. It's terrible. It's like that little card. Hang on to it, folks, because that's
right.
going to be your ticket to get into certain places, as well it should be, because we obviously can't police ourselves as a society to do the right thing. So we need to make it like the draft card I had when I went.
I agree. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. The numbers aren't there yet. The CDC, the doctors are all going, no, don't be getting together. Don't be doing this stuff. And politicians are going, oh, we should be proud of ourselves. We've done a great job. We got 20% of the population vaccinated. We're awesome. Yeah. And they're even doing worse. They're like, we have 50% of the population have gotten their first shot. Okay, well, that's not that yet, so
you can all do the math on that one. That's like 25% of something like,
it's a little scary. So in any case, I personally know 4 people that either got COVID in the last 2 weeks and they had a first shot, or they were in a group of people where a bunch of people got sick. Like last week,
got the vaccine and got COVID.
Yep, I know somebody that was a month out, and you know who it is too, but I'm not going to say because it's in confidence. This is one of our music people was like, "Oh yeah, I got it from my kid," and I'm like, "Oh my God, you got it from your kid?" And then because you have the vaccine, it's not like you're not getting the whatever down your throat. But in any case, so we're not bringing it back like boom, full steam ahead. But I did like the idea of the boat club, and when the weather's 72 and 75. And we have a room full of people that have had 2 vaccines in a couple weeks gone by. We're going to do some more of this boat club stuff. I think that's going to be
the combination of like the temperature and the lack of the sound system. I felt like I was basically playing 6 rubber bands on like a 2x2.
So we won't torture each other. I just happen to be in town. We won't torture each other. When the right day happens, we'll do it. And I'll be in Connecticut. By the way, anybody wants to hire a keyboard player, it's all starting again. And I am going to be back in Connecticut more and more. I'll probably spend at least the third or half of my time back in Connecticut now as the weather gets nicer. So,
by the way, the kitten is, it's astounding in like 1 week's time how much the face changed.
Oh, absolutely. There's his old picture,
and now it's getting more formed,
more cat-like, and he's cool. I still have to wait another like 3 weeks to get him, but it feels like I should kidnap him, but I'm not ready yet. And he's a sweetie.
He's with his mother, for Christ's sake. You're gonna
he's with his mother and siblings, so I'm not going to do that. I think he needs to be 10, 12 weeks out.
And that a Law and Order SVU, and it never works out well.
Exactly. All right, so play some music tonight.
Okay, I will. And I don't know. I'm playing this song by The Left Bank. It's sort of a well-known song, and because I was just thinking about the line in it that was like, "Now as the rain beats down." I have an air conditioner here that really is like my weather. It's like my weather thing. If it's raining, I hear it. It's
right.
And when I see the sign that points one way, the light we used to pass by every day, just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block, they're not the same. You're not to blame. From deep inside the tears that I'm forced to cry, from deep inside the pain that I choose to hide, just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries. Your name and mine inside a heart on a wall still finds a way to haunt me, though they're so small. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you down home. The empty sidewalks on my block, they're not the same. You're not to blame.
Much better. Jimmy McGuire is on, and he said, yeah, the crowd was drowning you out. And you know what happened last week after you left? I don't know. No, maybe it was right after you left. We continued. We had Dale Allen. We had Billy Foster with Ray Simonelli. We had Sherry and Dave came down. But
I was there for Billy and Dale. I was there.
There you go. As soon as they stopped, everybody was like, brr, it's chilly. And they all went into the bar. So I
Right.
was like sitting out alone in the cold going, maybe I should go in the bar. And probably not a great idea, to go in the bar. But I went in the bar. I went way off to the side and I ran the show. And I'm like shouting over the crowd noise. It was, couldn't hear.
Is there ever any chance of going back to Bobby Q's? Is that ever?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bobby is conservative. If you're watching Bobby, let's talk. But it's not time yet.
We're all conservative. I mean, we're conservative.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can make something happen, but it'll probably be June or July in my estimation before that takes off. Meanwhile, Dave Rao and Ray Simonelli and that whole crowd, they're doing a thing outside in Westport on the corner with all the people you know and love.
Yeah.
This weekend they have Allie and Shane and they have Christine Cook. And
are you doing that or no?
No, I can't make it, unfortunately. But my van blew a transmission for the second time. I got a new transmission put in and it blew I pulled into my driveway in Pennsylvania and the tranny blew. So they're putting another one in, and I don't have it yet. So
you don't get a paint job like that, and mechanics. You take your pick.
You take your pick.
So you want something that works.
Well, it's a beautiful van, but it is 24 years old. It's an old vehicle, and you got to treat it as such.
That's not terrible.
So anyway, everybody go to outdoor things and stay away from each other and don't lick each other's faces and get sick. But as soon as the time is right, we'll be back at Bobby Q's and we'll have bands again. That's what I miss. See, you're a solo artist. No, I take it back. You play with a lot of bands. You have your own project.
Every day, every week, Crispin and I are lamenting not being able to do, the stuff at the Horseshoe and.
Right, and that'll come back. That's going to happen at some point. And believe me, like I've been on JMP TV for 57 weeks. You've been playing. I've been playing like not at all. I do the collaborative videos, but I really miss it. I miss playing with people. I miss jamming and all that. And it's going to happen. Just everybody be patient and don't get sick.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, do some more.
Okay. Rising up, back on the street. I did my time, I took my chances. I went the distance, I'm back on my feet. Just a man with his will to survive. So many times it happened too fast. You trade your passion for your glory. You lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor talks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough and staying hungry. Stack the odds till we take to the street for the kill with the skill to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor gets his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eyes of the tiger. Rising up, straight to the top. I had the guts, I got the glory. I went the distance, I'm not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor gets his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eyes of the tiger. Look at my room, Mickey. It stinks.
So let me ask you this: you feel better? Like you're a studio musician now. Like you feel better in the studio, right?
Well, I like the interaction with the thing, but to me, what worked against me last week for me mentally was just knowing that it didn't sound like anything. Like because it didn't sound like anything.
Right.
I knew what it sounded like because I could hear what it sounded like. It wasn't like
Right.
it wasn't like I don't have a good enough monitor and I know it's being projected. It's like I knew it couldn't be sound. And Ray sounded better because he went into the thing. But my thing was just basically really it felt like I was playing rubber bands. Plus, when your hands are cold and the strings just are awful when it's cold.
Yeah, right. But there was something awesome about it. Like it was like, oh, we're together and we're not staring at a screen and pushing buttons. So I don't know. We'll because when we come back to Bobby Q's or when we come back with live shows, Jam TV is going to be on the air. Like I think what I'll do is I'll set up my little broadcast center in the back room, like away from everybody, like in a little soundproof corner, and I'll just disappear back there. And if it's time to set up a new act, I'll push a button and play a video, and they'll be like, "We'll be right back in 5 minutes," and we'll have it more down. That was a little like
you need like a sort of a toady guy who laughs at all your jokes. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure and privilege of playing with Mike Marble, but I love Mike Marble, and he's absolutely one of my favorite drummers. But he's also like my favorite guy in a band thing because whatever I say, I always hear from behind me go, ha, ha, ha. Like there's always like a laughing. It's like Ed McMahon or like,
right. Yeah, no, I got to do that when we're live. I can have that. I can have a rotating seat of like somebody that I can banter with and all that.
Hey, they rotate the host on Jeopardy. You can do anything.
That's the move. Need Vanna White. All right, go for it.
Hey, your hair's longer than Vanna White's. All right, this is a song by a songwriter named Dan Penn, who's one of the greatest songwriters. You may not know him by name, but Cry Like a Baby by the Box Tops. He wrote songs. Natural Woman, I think he wrote. Did he write that? He wrote a bunch. I'm Your Puppet. He wrote a million songs. You Don't Miss the Water. He wrote some great songs. Anyway, this is a song he wrote for himself. He was also a great singer. Take a look around you. How much longer can you live this way? Trash on the floor from weeks before just gets deeper every day. Can't let go of that foolish pride, so you keep it locked up inside. Time to face the pain and stand up and cry like a man. There's no one left to blame now. She had a reason why she had to go. Feelings you hid, love you couldn't give, kept you from touching your soul. Got to break down that fortress inside. Surrender to the tears in your eyes. Never be free again till you cry like a man. There ain't no shame in letting teardrops fall. It's a good thing, it'll be alright. A little rain can make the trees grow tall. You got to be strong. Stand up and cry like a man. Big horn section right there. You he's gone for good now. Your love is torn beyond all repair. There's not a trace of a tear in your face. There ought to be some there. These deep emotions you kept in the dark, you don't let them out, they're gonna freeze your heart. You'll never be free again till you cry like a man. So go on and cry, cry like a man. Go on and cry, cry like a man. Go on and cry, cry like a man.
Very nice. Very nice. You're on tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That could change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I was talking to Elwood the other day. You know, Elwood got me this robot, right? So check this out. He's like peddling robots. So he got me Robbie the robot, you know, from Forbidden Planet.
Right.
You know? And so, I don't know. Does he make any noise? There it is. Welcome, Altair Board, gentlemen. Right. So Robbie the robot. And so Elwood was like, how are you going to use Robbie the robot? You know, he's got that dry sense of humor, right? He's like, how are you going to use it? I'm like, I don't know. So he said, you need to put a sign in its hand, like with a rating, you know, like a 9.1 or a 9. Like as artists, when they're done, he walks by with the sign or something, you know? So we're writing material for Robbie the robot to be my sidekick.
Landing, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if I want a human sidekick. They're unpredictable. I'd rather have like a robot that I can control.
Well, I mean, you know, ironic. Yes, humans are unpredictable, but like human sidekicks are so predictable because their paycheck revolved around them being like
paycheck. I was talking about a paycheck.
Oh, Johnny. You know, hey now. You know, like,
oh my God, maybe Ray Simonelli will be my sidekick. I don't know.
Oh, how about that? How you doing, guys?
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
What's the latest?
Yeah, you know, I heard you guys talking about the boathouse.
The boat club, yeah.
Boat club, yeah. The thing that I liked most about it was kind of like a preview of how it could be when you ultimately go back to doing the full jam, but you're going to broadcast it at the same time. And just like the live action, it just had like a really nice feel to it. And for you just doing it for the first time like that, I thought it worked well.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's like literally starting again when you want to work in a live aspect. Plus, I thought about this. I'm like, okay, so at the jams, we don't limit people to 2 songs. Nobody's going to drive all the way down to do 2 songs, right? You know, and so I'm thinking, well, how do you do that as a TV show? Like maybe what you do is you say, okay, Bill, start the show out, and then you play some videos. And so the live show's happening as one show, and the videos are happening as the other show. And then you bring the next performer on and introduce them. I don't even know how that's going to work, but we're going to try it.
Yeah, I like that extra camera that you had going where it said on the bottom, live from NBC.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, Bill Nolan, why don't you do one more tune, play us out of Guinea Pig Theater, and then we'll bring Ray Simonelli on.
All righty.
Oh, go for
it, Bill. I'm going to do a song by a band called the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I got the idea to do this at about 6:15 tonight.
Okay.
So that I'm on tonight, that could end right here. He's the real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, thinking all his nowhere plans for no man. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere man, please listen. You don't know what you're missing. Nowhere man, world's at your command. He's as blind as he can be, just sees what he wants to see. Nowhere, man, can you see me at all. Nowhere, man, don't worry. Take your time, don't worry. Leave it all till somebody else lends you a hand. La, 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 la. Does it have a point of view? Knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and nowhere, man? Please listen. You don't know what you're missing. Nowhere, man. The world is at your command. La, 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 la. He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Making all his nowhere plans for nobody.
Nice.
I pooched the. There we go.
Very nice. I love that song. I've always loved that song.
Yeah, me too. You know, and again, like part of COVID too is like once there's other people and you have harmony, and that'll be better. And you know,
absolutely, you'll have harmony, and you'll have ladies at the bar that you can buy drinks for and such. You know, I mean, it's nice to have an audience. It's nice to have people enjoying themselves out there.
You know, I like your shirt. It's got like the Dia del Muerte kind of thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, I got new shirts for second season. New shirts. That's the only improvement we've made.
Well, you know, at least you're putting the money back into the show. You know,
right? Exactly. Yeah, I bought them on the internet cheap. So, Bill Nolan, fantastic, really good.
All right, break a leg, Razor.
Good stuff.
Thanks, Bill. Take care, man.
Awesome. So, Ray Simonelli, how you been?
I've been doing okay, hanging in there. You know, not too much changes.
How are your guitar classes going?
Really good. I didn't have one this week because spring break vacation.
Right.
So this week is off. But now we're about 3 classes in, 3 or 4, I forget. And all of the levels, the kids, the adults. I mean, it's a really, really good class. And there's like this one adorable little girl. Her name is Emma in the first class. When I announced, now remember, there's no class next week because of the spring break. And she had like the saddest look. She says, there's no class, but I like coming to class.
Right. My students, interestingly enough, some of them, you know, because they're all on break too now, you know, at school. I teach in Bridgeport electronic music, and it's all online now. But we're talking about doing some of the stuff in person now. And you know, it was vacation. So we're like, okay, there's not going to be class next week, you know, but if you want, just do it. And about half of my students are like, see you later, old guy. Bye. You know, and the other half are like, can I do 2 lessons this week? I need something to do, and I enjoy it. So,
oh wow,
I got 2 students that are like itching to get together in person because they want to use better microphones. They've been recording whole albums using an iPhone. Like they put their headphones on and they sing into the phone mic, and it sounds really good. Like I dare say better than a lot of album work. But these kids are like, oh my God, I want to stand in front of a mic with a pop filter and a room, and you can critique what I'm doing better. And so, you know, I'm going to start doing some of that maybe as early as next week, getting together live.
Awesome.
doing
That's
live
really
records.
good. Yeah.
And two students they're both like, oh my God, I've got this album inside me. I've got to get the songs out. I've got to record. You've got to come back. And I'm like, all right, but just
that's
for
some
you
motivation.
guys, just for you guys, you're like, there's a few students that I'm going to meet in person, probably 4, and the rest of them we'll do it online or however we do it. But the really motivated, more professional ones, I'm going to start doing that online. So if any of you in TV land want a guitar lesson, Ray Simonelli's got them going on. So hit me up and I'll connect you or hit Ray up directly.
And there's gonna be more to come. There's gonna be some in a park in Norwalk in the summertime, and there's also gonna be summer classes at the Darien Town Hall. And then in the fall, the Stanford one, that's gonna resume in-person classes. And I think there's gonna be 2 separate classes. So yeah, there's some things in the works,
That's great. Yeah. So if you want, I actually thought about it. I actually seriously thought about it. And I'm like, I picked up a guitar 100 times in my life and it's a bus wreck. Maybe I should just take Ray's class. And then I'm like, no, I am not supposed to be a guitar player. I'll call you if I need a guitar part on the song. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Hey, I heard you talking about our street corner gig. Thank you in Westport on Saturday.
Yeah, that's great. Lots of stuff going on. It's wild because I look at the roster of that show and I say, maybe with one exception, they all met at my jam. Their first gig at their little band was at my jam. You know what I mean? And over the years, and it's like, I can't even make it Saturday. Like, I want to be playing with all you guys. I want to be out with all you guys. At least Dave Rao is taking over in a great way, finding that street side thing. And anybody in the audience wants to go out and see that, that's a great thing. You could stay socially distant. Sherry and Dave were actually there that week that I was there a couple weeks ago, but they didn't even come up and say hello. They're like, Dave hadn't had a shot yet. So they stayed like a block away and they were like,
okay.
Oh, there's Ed and there's Ray. But people could stay really socially distant there. And it's a lot of talent. I wish I could be there Saturday, but my transmission blew up again.
Oh, geez.
My second one.
I heard you say that. Yeah. Well, Dave is going to do more. He'll do more like throughout the warm weather months. How many remains to be determined, but it seems to work. People have a good time. It gives people that haven't played out in a while an opportunity to come out and play in public. So
that's right. Cool. And it'll come back. It'll come back. But for me, not right now. And I think a lot of venues are like, we're going to wait and see what happens. And someday, I follow the COVID data numbers. There's this doctor down in Georgia who's a Facebook friend of mine, and we've gotten to sort of know each other a little bit over the pandemic. And he is a statistician. He doesn't see patients. He's a medical doctor, and he does medical statistics and that kind of thing. And he seems to think that in July, the numbers will go, whoop. Mm-hmm. It'll just like dump, and that'll be it. And I hope he's right, but this virus has surprised me before. Like when Anthony Fauci said, I think maybe it's going to be 8 weeks last April, and here we are. We're still here. And so we'll see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm going to be very careful now. I've had my 2 shots. Have you had your shots yet?
One. I have
you
one.
won. So you got the other one coming up momentarily.
Like first half of May.
Right. I think a lot of people are in that situation where they're in the process now. They're getting their shots. And as more and more people do it, especially of our age group, then it'll be easier and better to say, okay, everybody in this room, like I'll be able to go to Bobby and say, hey, let's try this, because I can warranty to you that everybody in this room has had 2 shots in 2 weeks after that. And
you got the little cards. You can the woman at the facility say, yeah, just when you get your second one, take a picture of it and carry it on your iPhone.
I'll get a stamp, so you show me your card and I'll like stamp your forehead. It'll be like Ash Wednesday. You get like a W on your forehead.
Or Ed, you could go old school and you could laminate it.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. That's the plan. So what are you going to do for us today?
I think I'm going to start off with a Neil song, if you don't mind.
All right. Okay. You just opened the door. I've got to say this now that you said that. I connected with a guy who wrote me an email, and he said, I don't know if you're the right guy, but when I was 8 years old and you were 10 years old in Austria, and I'm talking about dancing through fields of flowers with our freaking lederhosen. I'm not even joking. This guy wrote me, and he's like, I think you might be the guy because I saw a video of you playing accordion to Santa Claus in a Shark Tank. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was me.
remember that.
He was my buddy when I was 10 years old in Austria. And he's coming on the show tonight. It's, right now it's 2 a.m. He's sleeping.
So is he still over there?
He's oh, yeah, sure. He's Austrian.
Okay.
So when he's going to come on the show, and we pre-recorded a segment, which I'm going to play tonight. And his name is Christoph Salcher, and he's a great guy. And he's going to do 2 Neil Young songs tonight.
Okay. Should I do something else or?
No, you do what you're going to do, but I can't wait to have him on. And it's really kind of fun. All right, go for it. Play some Neil Young.
Is the volume okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
It's all right? Okay, good. And by the way, I've got my upgraded internet. We'll see. Let's see what happens.
We're still going to drink. We'll come up with another drinking game. Don't get depressed that Ray Simonelli upgraded his internet. You will still be able to have a drinking game somehow.
Yeah. Right. Okay, fair enough. All right, Ed. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lie you are. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lie you are. Oh man, take a look at my life. A 24 and there's so much more. You're alone in paradise. Makes me think of 2. Love lost such a cost. Everything that won't get lost. Like a coin that won't get tossed. Rolling home to you. Take a look at my life, I'm a lie like you. I've got someone home and the whole day through. Oh man, take a look at my life, you can tell it's true. Lullabies in your eyes. I run around the same old town. Doesn't mean that much to me, to mean that much to you. I've been first and I've been last. Funny how the time go past. But I'm coming home at last. Coming home to you. Take a look at my life, I'm a lie like you. I've got someone at home and the whole day through. Oh man, take a look at my life, you can tell it's true. Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lie like you are. Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lie like you are.
Hey, Dave Rao, how you doing?
What's up?
Dave Rao in the house.
Yep.
For Dave Rao on the screen.
How you been? I was promoting your show for Saturday, and I couldn't remember all of the acts. So why don't you run down what you got going on Saturday for everybody?
Okay, well, we're going to open up with Rory Gordon's going to open.
Right.
And hopefully I'll get up there for a few with him, and maybe, I don't know, we might get Christine up there. It depends on whether they know what they know. And then we're going to have Christine and the Cooked Up Acoustic Group, and then Rory's going to be joining that. So that'll be like the first 2 hours, and then Jill's going to come up. Jill
Rutsky, yep.
Phenomenal. Can't wait for her to perform. And then to close, and then after that we have Allie and Shane, the Fine Lines duo, trio, which I'll be playing with. And then we have the Blue Steam Band. The whole shooting match is going to be there, and Dale's going to be the featured singer. So they'll be closing at 5 to 6. You know, if the weather's not too bad, actually, probably is going to be getting warmer at that point.
Right.
Because tomorrow's supposed to be pretty nasty.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the boat club, by the way, the other night. I mean, we've got to take our opportunities to get together and do music when we can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, even if we can't get anything, you know, more consistent up and running. I've heard rumors that they're going to get the Tuesday night jam in the park in Norwalk up and running.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got lots of stuff planned this summer, from impromptu park in Riverside Park and downtown Westport, and I think it's great. We got to keep it alive safely, and all of these things give us a chance to do it without putting people in harm's way. You know, like lots of social distance room and lots of masks and shots. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I finally got in touch with the downtown merchants down there, and they're going to be doing like acoustic stuff over in Church Street. She said every weekend. So, you know, anybody that's looking for acoustic work, that's, you know, try to get in touch with the downtown merchants.
Speaking of somebody looking for acoustic work, Randy Stone.
I had to come out and say hi to the boys.
How you doing?
Hey, everybody.
Good. I wish I could be with you guys Saturday. I don't think it's going to happen. My transmission blew in the van, and then I had it replaced,
right,
and then it blew again. Miles later. No. So now it's at my shop. They're trying to figure it all out, and if they can figure it out by over the weekend, I'll come out.
So. I'm bummed. I'm missing it too. I actually have a rehearsal. I wanted to go, but I can't do it. So
rehearsal.
I'll haunt it another time.
What's a rehearsal? I don't even know what that is.
I know, because I actually have these things called gigs. I actually have a few. It's like, holy tits.
Nice.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And you'll love this. I think I mentioned this to you on Messenger, Randy. My friend Christoph Salker from Austria, he said, it was really funny. We were doing this interview thing, and he said, oh, there's somebody that came on the show and they did this song, and I'm trying to remember the song. And he goes, oh, and Randy was telling jokes. Randy Stone was telling jokes. It was show 51. And I'm like, oh my God, that is a fan. That guy is like, he knows the show. He knows everybody on the show, like in Austria. And he's going to be on the show later tonight.
A guy who never stops talking was still talking. Yes.
Exactly. And the weirdest thing is that I did an interview with him, and the first 10 minutes, the preamble, we did in German, which my German is just like, oh God, like trying to find words. I can't even speak anymore. And so we spoke German, but we did the interview for the show in English, obviously. So we'll play that later, and he'll be on the show.
This is a boyhood friend of yours.
Yeah, he was 8 and I was 10, like running through the fields with the cows in Austria, you know, like just wild. And of course, he lives in, this is a very, very small town in farm country. So literally everybody knows everybody, literally. And so I started asking about people. I'm like, what about my friend Berthold Herzl? And what about my friend so? He's like, oh yeah, I saw him last week, and I saw her, and I'm like, oh my God, like, so I got to go over there. And they're musicians. He's going to come on and play Neil Young.
Awesome. Nice. Ray, that sounded good.
Yeah, Ray, that was great.
Well, we were just talking about that song.
We were, as a matter of fact. That's right.
I was just listening to that.
Last time I saw these two jamokes, we were at that Riverside Park, kind of rehearsing for a future gig.
That totally, yes, that was great. It's a nice little spot.
I like it.
It is. They're really actually making it nicer too. So
It's along the river. This is in Westport, Connecticut. For anybody listening, doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
And it's a public space, kind of a busy road, but you don't really notice it. And they maintain it. We're like on this lawn. We bring battery powered amps, and Dave plays acoustic stuff. And Teddy showed up playing his saxophone, and we had a great time. There might have been a bottle of wine or two involved, and it was cool.
A couple of people came to listen
Yeah,
for
right.
a while, sat on the grass.
Yeah, we did get some listeners. Yeah, you're right, Rick.
and a guy that offered us some power.
He
Right.
did.
Oh, right.
He said
That guy-
the guy whose house is next door to the park said, I've got a couple of 100-foot extension cords I could run power over.
He's running it down to his dock.
That's
Now,
great.
his house is next door, but
Yeah.
it's not like next door, like it's right
No,
over there.
no.
I mean, you look, the house was like
His brush.
way in the distance, and he
You're
says
right.
he's got a whole bunch of. He goes, if you guys need electricity, I can run a whole bunch of cords from my house.
Gotta be careful with that. I doing DJ gigs. I've done a lot of DJ gigs, and I've run power. A couple 100 feet. What happens, especially to a bass amp, is that when it draws a lot of power, the voltage goes down to like 80 volts, and you can blow an amp. So I've lost subwoofers and amps because of the extension cord. You gotta be careful with that. So, but it sounds really good. So if you want directions on how to get to any of these places, you first get to Vienna, then you get on an airplane and you fly to New York, and then you take an Uber to Westport, Connecticut, or Tokyo or Sydney, Australia. For our faraway viewers, you just get an Uber and say, "I want to go to Westport," and it'll take you right there.
One Main Street for those using GPS.
That's right. And get a hold of this guy who's arranging all the get-togethers these days. I'm so glad you got. Yeah, but I'm so glad you got them going again, Dave. That's really cool.
Yeah.
He's arranging them get-togethers. I invited you the other night. You didn't come.
Well,
we know why that is.
He showed up, but you didn't.
well, I have a lame excuse.
Yeah,
I'll make it up in the next 30 seconds.
there you
No,
go.
you're right. You're right. I'm guilty as charged.
So no, it's good. Like, we're going to be doing some of these things to get together and and see each other's faces. It's going to happen.
No, I actually think your prediction all along has been. I mean, I'm vaxxed. A lot of our age is vaxxed, but I think your prediction of late summer, early fall is probably going to come in a limited way. But
Right.
we're going to go from nothing to something, not to what it was before, but something in the middle.
Right. No, absolutely. And it could be that that the state has allowed the restaurants to do dining, but not so much music, and outdoors okay and all that. And when the weather starts getting cold again, the restaurants are going to be like, look, we gotta start being real now. The numbers are down, and if they are down, we'll be back.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And at least
So
we
we'll
have
get
the
through the
warm
summer.
weather months in the meantime.
That's right, and we'll have a good time doing at the boat club with JMTV, or at Westport with Dave Rao, or whoever. They'll be, and I want to come to your house and do it in your do JMTV one night in your music room downstairs, Randy Stone.
I would love it.
And so there'll be all kinds of creative
Yeah,
opportunities.
no shit. It'll be fun.
So it's very good. So sounds good. Well, thank you, Ray Simonelli, for that. I'm going to bring my good friend Johnny Leds on. Hey
guys, how you doing?
how you doing? Talk about a guy who did every show, no matter how cold it was. He did every show outdoors. Come to find that what he was doing, he was building a room so that he could do the show from the room. And there he is, sitting in his room in Massachusetts.
And it's done, finally.
You did it.
Yeah,
How you been? I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
The 2.5-month project that took 7.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's actually good, I think.
You did a great job, though. Yeah.
And it's good that you did it when you did it, because lumber is now really expensive. Anything building materials is like really pricey right now.
Yeah, I had a little email saying from the contractor, who I know personally, he was a good guy. And he said, John, I way underestimated for the labor. I'll eat that, but I'd like you to pay an extra $3,000 for hardware. He said prices went up like 25%.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
You didn't escape that. Yeah, you didn't escape it. Wow.
Nope.
Not bad.
The only thing is if you've got stock in those companies like Home Depot or whatever.
Right, exactly. So what have you got for us, Sean?
Oh, am I up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me think.
You want a bass solo?
Yeah, bass solo.
Or a drum solo?
Everybody wants those.
See, that's the thing. The people who have suffered more, like acoustic players, have had Jam TV and whatever. They can sneak out, but there are people like me. I'm a sideman in a band. That's what I do.
I'm with you. I've been on your show. I don't know how many times, and Frank's show too. I've never played live once.
Right. So I'm really itching to actually do that. I envy the people that have some outdoor gigs, and I'm happy to play with anybody. Exactly.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of barbecues. I'm famous for after everyone's had 3 drinks, I sound great. So hopefully that'll happen again. You never know; it might happen.
All right, cool.
Building a little patio off the deck, and I'm gonna have a fire pit down there, I think. So that'll be fun.
Very nice, very nice. All right, what do you got for us, Johnny?
All right, how about a little Buffalo Springfield?
Awesome.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. I think it's stop killing. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. These bad lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It doesn't stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look, it's going down. What a field they fall to be. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, slowly saying a pray for a sign. It's time to stop children. What's that sound? Everybody look, it's going down. Paranoia strikes me. Into life, it will free. The stars be always afraid. Step out of line, the men come in and take you away. And then they stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look, it's going down.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I like anything that CSN or Neil Young ever did. So anyone, all the old guys are great. It's amazing actually how like 10 musicians are like in 30 bands.
Yeah.
Like Clapton, how many is he in,
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Is a cool song. It's a great example of the more simple the song, the more brilliant it is.
Which is perfect for Johnny because I'll take a.
Man, you sang that great. That was cool. I really liked it.
No, you know what? It's not like Bill Nolan pulls out a song. It's got like 87 chords. If you had a chart for it, you would not be able to read it.
That Nowhere Man that he did, that Nowhere Man. If I could do that, I would love to be. If I had a superpower, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, you'd have to read it. You'd literally have to read it. Like it's so intricate. Good stuff. So what else do you have for us, Johnny Lynn?
All right, let me think here.
So for those of you who don't know, Johnny Lenz and I, we went to high school together at a Pinky's Out boarding school in Connecticut. And we've seen each other a few times at reunions over the years, but not that much. He lives up in Massachusetts, and it's nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, kind of fun. Well, let me have a sip of courage because I'm a little parched.
What are you drinking tonight? Is it always the same, or do you switch it up?
Oh, I switched it up. The liquor cabinet is deep and wide. A little bullet bourbon tonight.
Nice.
It's a song. That's a song.
Yeah, I think last time I played 2 whiskey songs just because that's what I was doing. So,
Whiskey.
how about be on my side? I'll be on your side, baby. There is no reason for you to hide. It's so hard for me to stay here all alone. When can you take me for a ride? I got hooked now. She could drag me over the rainbow and send me away down by the river. I shot my baby down by the river. Yeah. You take my hand, I'll take your hand. Together we may get away. This much madness is too much sorrow, baby. It's impossible to make it today. Hey, hey. She could drag me over the rainbow and send me away down by the river. I shot my baby down by the river. Shot her dead. Be on my side, I'll be on your side, baby. There's no reason for you to hide. It's so hard for me to stay here all alone when you're taking me for a ride. I can't get that up. She could drag me over the rainbow and send me away down by the river. I shot my baby down by the river.
Nice.
What do you do when you can't get that top note? The answer is tune down a half step before the song.
There it is. Billy
Paul
Joe.
Ray Simonelli.
That's too much work.
I don't know if you know, but Billy Joel did that when Billy Joel got older. What he is now, and he still plays out a lot. He manufactured a grand piano that has a digital keyboard in it, so that he can play it one step down, so he can hit the notes.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's great.
So when you go see him on his 24-foot Steinway or whatever the hell it is, it's actually like a regular digital keyboard in a case. So that you get the experience, but he can sing it half step down, which has got to be a nightmare for the sax player who played it in like a nice friendly key for 30 years, and now it's like, oh, by the way, now you got to play it in F sharp, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give you a Billy Joel factoid. After high school, about a year or two after, my cousin right after college, my cousin got married, and it was this amazing, Great Gatsby-esque. The ballroom suite of the St. Regis Hotel in New York. I mean, really just top shelf event. Hundreds of cigars. It's like 60-foot ceilings, this huge walkout Manhattan patio, just amazing. So we're all partying down. It's back in the 80s, and by the way, we had 24/7 vans that were taking us to the hotels. And so we're partying up a bit around midnight. We decided to head back to the hotel, and I wasn't staying in St. Regis. We were staying at the Clinton over in Clinton in Jersey.
Right.
And so I'm waiting I just missed the van, and I'm hanging out in the lobby, and I hear a Billy Joel tune on the stereo, or in the main, like the piano bar, and it's actually Billy Joel playing, who's staying there. And he's jamming away, and the guy he still sounded great, but he was in the bag. He was slurring some words. I guess he had his days where he was drinking a lot, but amazing. And my brother is the biggest Billy Joel fan, and he was trying to hook up with a girl back up in the on the rooftop bar, and he missed the whole thing. And I said,
"Oh, no.
You see Billy Joel on the way out?" He's like, "What?"
Yeah, that's how I want to see Billy Joel, drunk in a hotel bar.
Yeah, and it was great. He played about
hopefully he got the girl.
It's like the real Billy.
Yeah, he probably didn't get the girl after all, right?
And actually, if I may, I met Billy Joel. He played at the University of Bridgeport. This is the Street Life Serenade album, the album right after Piano Man.
Wow.
So I'm in UB, right? It's time to go take a piss before the show. At the very end of the hall, the big door, someone's banging on the door. I'm like, all right, they want to get in for free. What the fuck do I care? So I open the door. It's Billy Joel. And he's got like his stage clothes, in dry cleaning plastic. And he looks at me, guys, how the fuck do you get into here? I'm like, I don't know, Billy. And so like, where am I supposed to go? Like, I don't know. So we find where you're supposed to go. I go back to the seats. I tell my pals, and they're like, oh yeah,
right.
Of course. Because like, if you weren't there, we'd have no show. Like you had to, yeah. And I'm like, you bastard, come with me. And I went, you could just have, there's a little window. And he came out and he hung with us for like 20 minutes. And he was the nicest fucking guy, funny.
Wow.
Yeah. I talked to him like 20 minutes. It was really cool. Of course, he was
very cool.
He was not the Billy Joel of today, but he was still, he was on his way.
Good hair, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, that is pretty awesome, Billy Joel. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Johnny Leds, that was fantastic.
Well, thank you guys. It was fun.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Hang out with us a little while. Chris Owen
Who's
comes
next?
up.
Who's playing?
This guy, Chris Owen.
All right.
I got a weapon right here. I'm going to have to use it.
Yeah, there you go. How you doing, Chris Owen?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. How's everybody else doing? Good to see everybody.
You sound great. You sound like the voice of God. Like, whoa, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want
Pay
that
no
mic.
attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
No,
Randy looks a lot better than the last time I saw him, which was the day of his second shot.
Yeah, my COVID day. Yeah.
He looked like the madman with the hair.
I made him come on. He wrote me. He's like, sorry, I'm not going to make it on Jam TV. I'm like, you got to come on so we can laugh at you.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, come on so we can make fun of you. I'm like, well, you know what? With my wise ass mouth, I can't refuse that offer. I got to do it.
It was funny.
Yeah, I was not at my best. Yeah.
Well, you sounded good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Your bass solo was fabulous.
Wasn't it killer? Yeah,
That's
I
the
hear
best thing
Stanley
about
Clark
Jam
on a wood
TV.
chipper.
Best thing about
Well,
Jam TV, no mask. We don't have to wear masks on this show.
Yes.
So
That's true.
Hey, does everyone have their shots at this point?
I have two. I'm 2 weeks out of my second, so I'm good.
Me
Yeah,
too.
here.
Thank
Good
God.
Saturday
here.
I'll be 2 weeks.
Everybody's on the way, So, before too long, getting together outdoors, getting together, with everybody that's had their shots is going to be kind of okay. So I'm feeling a little better.
But
Yeah,
am I wrong if I have a basement jam and I'm 2 weeks past my second dose and every participant also is, that's okay, right?
Yeah, I
You're
think
good.
the CDC said
Yep.
that. Yeah, we got to double check because originally they said like one family can meet with another family, but we're all one family, so
Oh, yes, that's right.
we got to figure this out. But
Yeah, I even heard it on CNN, which means it's considering they want to make everything sound like fire and brimstone. It's got to be true.
Right, good.
There you go.
Yeah, my band is getting together. My electric band's getting together for the first time in 2 weeks. We've all got our shots, and we're going for it.
That's great. You have a show?
Yeah. No, we don't have a show. We were just starting out when COVID began, and we were able to have some rehearsals in the summertime. So we've got 15 or 20 tunes, but we have to brush them up, and then we'll show up at a jam somewhere.
Yeah, cool. So that'll happen. I mean, we're all working on it. We're all finding ways to make that happen, and sooner or later it will.
Well, I hope so, because I'm starting to run out of acoustic songs over here.
Exactly right.
I've done 50. I counted it up the other day. I've done 55 songs on this show.
Start over.
And I didn't even know 55 songs when this thing began.
Go back to number one.
That's right. Exactly. Nobody remembers.
I'm going to have to repeat a few.
I'd like to do my acoustic version of Highway Star, Deep Purple. Yes.
Nobody's going to get my car. I'm going to race it to the... Great.
Like
that was one of my first favorite songs.
I love that song. I love that whole album.
And Richie Blackmore, oh my God, he's amazing. He's my first guitar god was Richie Blackmore.
Good stuff. So what do you got for us today?
Well, this is not Richie Blackmore. This is a guy named Michael Smith. This is an amazing song and one of the greatest written folk songs. It's called The Dutchman. Does anybody know this? By Michael Smith. And it was covered by Steve Goodman. Steve Goodman made a big hit out of it.
I think I've heard it. I've heard his version of it.
And I figured it was good because we're all older guys, and The Dutchman is about a man and his wife, and the man has lost his mind. He is now senile, and dear Margaret remembers his past. And that's what the song is about, and it takes place in Holland. So, The Dutchman by Michael Smith. The Dutchman's not the kind of man who keeps his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the summer, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she thinks he's alone and he calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with the love that Margaret Margaret sews there. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches the tugboats down canals. He calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Margaret comes and takes him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him. Though she holds his arm, sometimes he thinks he's alone and calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Winter's whirl the windmills round. She wraps his muffler tighter and they sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes the bed up singing some old love song. A song Margaret learned when it was very new. He hums a line or two, and they sing together in the dark. The Dutchman falls asleep, and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
Nice.
Yeah. That was great. That was
Thank you very
fancy chord work at the end there. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the finish.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
You know, Steve
Thank you.
Goodman. Steve Goodman is one of those guys. Now, imagine this. I was at Hobart my second year in college, right? The first year they had Bruce Springsteen, and they were big fans. And
Yeah.
that was what was going on. And, you know, I was still like loving the crazy albums of the 71, of like around 71, you know, Who's Next. Those were my albums, right?
Oh yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
So Dave Bromberg plays the spring concert at Hobart, or not the fall concert at Hobart. And of course, everybody goes. I really didn't know Dave Bromberg at all. You know, like I said, I was a Who fan. That was me. I was nothing like that as Who's Next, and still is. But that's another story. But anyway, so opening for David Bromberg's band, big band, really, really great, was this guy Steve Goodman, who I'd never heard of and had no idea who he was. And he gets up there on this big stage with all these instruments behind him, but just him, and just completely captivates this college crowd like I've never seen anything. Just by playing a guitar and singing his songs, just like that one. And I think one of my friends there must have bought the album, because I remember that song really well.
He wrote the great song "The City of New Orleans," which Arlo Guthrie
I didn't know that.
made a big hit out. He wrote that. Steve Goodman wrote that.
And there's another song he did that night called "If You're Looking for Trouble." That's what a tremendous song.
Yeah. There's one called the old smoothies that are. He was from Chicago, and the old smoothies were the old couples that would go to the ice rink in the middle of the day when nobody was there, and they would just kind of smoothly skate around. That was the whole thing about that song.
Right?
He was something. He died extremely young.
Yeah.
He's dead by the mid 70s, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Now, you're talking about who's next in college. I went to St. Lawrence, which is like the brother school of Hobart. They're very
Right,
two schools
right.
fundraising together.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Lacrosse.
And you'd set the first thing you would do when you got to your dorm room or wherever you were living on campus was to set up the stereo.
That's right.
It was the first thing you set up. The bed wasn't made, the clothes were still packed, and you set up the stereo. And I always put on Who's Next first. It was always the beginning of the year album. Great stuff. I still listen to it. I love it. They're
To
very
this
few better
day,
ones.
I mean, that's one of the ones. The reissue is sonically amazingly better. Something about the
Really?
Live at Leeds and Who's Next, the reissues, the remasterings, whatever they are, they're like brand new albums. Put headphones on,
gotta get those.
and listen to them. They're really good.
Yeah.
No, I can't listen to him without bacon fat going on in there.
That's right.
and looking at the album.
Yes, of course. Yes.
One of my
All day.
dreams is still to play "Won't Get Fooled Again" live. I'm dying to play it. Ed,
Let's
if you know
do
the
it.
keyboard part,
Let's
if you can
do
do
it.
that, yeah.
I've done it. As a matter of fact, I'm subbing with a band in May. By the way, a band not to be named that tunes down a step, so I have to remember to do that. And they pull that song off, and they do it really well. It's all I can do to keep up.
Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I used to go see Rat Race Choir.
I saw them. Hell yeah.
And I had shared stages with them before at Jethro Tull conventions. I had a Tull band, and they would play. They did a lot of Tull back then, and they did, of course, all that Who stuff as well. They were great. And their keyboard player, Ed, do you know their keyboard player?
Who is it?
Larry McGowan.
I don't think so.
Larry McGowan, he passed away about a year ago, and he played right up to the end. There was no problems, and he died. He lived down in White Plains. It's a shame. Anyway, speaking of big classic bands from the 70s, guess who I'm going to try to play a song by?
But guess who?
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely right. Remember Bad Sneakers?
So he says plastic. That's a good hint.
And I haven't actually played the Tull song in about a month. Okay, maybe 6 weeks. And
I know you haven't. I've been itching for a good Tull song.
Yeah, here's one. Now this one is called "One White Duck." A little word of explanation. "One White Duck." Apparently, Tull fans have always wondered what this song is about. Well, it's actually about Ian splitting from his wife, generally. But in England, apparently, there's a tradition that you put up 2 white ducks on the fireplace, on the mantelpiece, and that was a symbol of your relationship. So I guess he took his duck with him, and there was only 1 duck left, so it was 1 white duck. And
White duck.
There goes the foie gras.
1 white duck. So now you know what the song is about. Okay.
Getting the duck out of here.
There's a haze on the skyline to wish me on my way. And there's a note on the telephone, some roses on a tray, and the motorway stretching right out to a song. As I pull on my old wings, 1 white duck on your wall, isn't it just just too damn real. One white duck on your wall. One duck on your wall. Oh. I'll take a ride on your violin, strung upon your bow, and I float on your melody and sing your chorus soft and low, and the picture view postcard to say that I called. You can see from the fireplace one white duck on your wall. Isn't it just too damn real? One white duck on your wall. Oh, one duck on your wall. Oh, one duck on your wall.
Very nice. Very nice.
Curious, has anybody ever heard that before?
I don't think so.
No, but I like the way you did it. It had a very nice sort of medieval, which I think is some of the essence
It's
of
very tall.
sometimes. You get
Very tall.
some of that riff in there.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, no, I like it. No, I'm not familiar with it, but I liked it. Thank you.
Yeah, so listen to the album is called Minstrel in the Gallery, Nick, and you're very prescient because it's the cover is a couple of strolling players up on a balcony in this medieval scene, and the song "Minstrel in the Gallery" is pretty probably the best known song on that. But it's an amazing record of acoustic and some great rock stuff.
Minstrel in the Gallery, sure.
Minstrel in the Gallery.
Where is that in their chronology? That's pretty early, right?
That is, it's 70. Let's see, it was a senior in college. It was 75, 76.
Okay.
After War Child, after Passion Play, Thick as a Brick, and I was after those albums a lot. Along Thick as a Brick, Passion Play, War Child, Minstrel.
For some reason, I lost the spring there. I Thick as a Brick I was into, and then after that, I don't think I ever collected anything.
Yeah. Well, should have kept going, man.
Billy Foster.
Billy.
Hey guys.
How you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm a dog.
What happened?
My dog is dying. She's 106.
Oh no.
Can't eat. She can hardly hear. She cannot keep her back legs up, so I can find arrangements to. She's comfortable, but I gotta.
I'm sorry, man. That's sad.
I don't know if you guys remember. There was a woman that was charged. The state of Connecticut really charged her. They got her twice. She went to prison. She had all these animals, and she didn't take good care of them.
I do remember that.
That's where it was up from.
Oh.
That's where it was up from. So
rescue
was only like 6 weeks old, but now she's really old. So.
Yikes! I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, at least had a good life,
That's tough.
You should got it away from that.
Whenever I see a pet, on Facebook, when I see this, it's true. These are our most loyal friends. Like, we have no more loyal friends in life.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. And she, up until she lost her hearing completely and her sight the other day, the only thing she knew was when she heard my voice. I came to feed her, and she didn't even know where to go to eat, so I'd bring the food to her wherever she was, and she knew my voice when she heard it. And now she can't even go outside to go to the bathroom.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry.
I've been there.
It's devastating. You get
We
so
all have.
close. The animals are part of your daily routine. You'll see people. We see each other once a week or twice a week or whatever. But animals, you see when you wake up. You see when you go to sleep. You got to feed them. You got to walk or whatever it is.
Part of the
But
family.
never considered any of my pets to be, something off. They're all family members. I'll give you an idea. You guys kind of know me, right? In my house, I had to put another dog down and put one of my pit bulls down. But in my house, with all the animals, when I said the word fuck, everybody went under a table when they heard the word even if I said it nicely or took off.
That's kind of like being at a jam, you know. Like,
I can just see all the animals like, oh Jesus Christ, he's so cute.
that happens. If there's a
Happens in my house.
That's what, you know, when the Welshmen were up in the hills with the sheep, they see a Welshman come over the hill, they dived away, they went for the barn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm half Welsh too.
Very sweet.
Oh my God.
So how's everybody else doing?
Sorry to hear that.
Doing all right. Doing
It
all
was
right.
good. It was good to see you play live with Ray Simonelli at the Boat Club last week.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a whole
Sounded
lot of
good.
fun. Yeah.
Wow, live.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it live.
Yeah,
Yeah, Johnny,
the new,
we had
the new versions of this stuff. Are they gonna stop people from getting their second shots or whatever? I mean, I want everybody to get their shots so we can go out and do what we have to do.
Yeah, get them. Get them. Do whatever you have to do.
Ed's hosting this thing, but I was a guest online, but you guys couldn't hear me. So I'd be talking to Ed. Ed's like, they're taking time trying to figure out what they're going to play. And I'm like, Ed, tell them to play Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. Ed's like, do they know that? I'm like, trust me, they know it. Tell them to play it.
Okay. So here's the problem. My particular flavor of mental illness is that I don't know the name of anything. Like I don't know the name of songs. I don't know the name of like you're like, oh, Aqualung, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of that, but I can't keep those things in order. But I know the song, so I'll go to an audition where people don't know me, and they're like, oh, what do you know? And I'm like, I can't think of anything I know. I said, just play something. I'll play along. And they're like, oh God. They're like, oh God, this guy's an idiot, right? And then they're like, da 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 da. I'm like, oh okay, and I start playing it, and they're like, oh, I thought you didn't know it. I'm like, I didn't know the name. That's my problem. So,
They probably think you're an idiot savant, you know.
yeah, that's what it is, and
Yes, right.
That's probably
I hear
what I
Mozart.
am.
You just, that sounds just like Mozart. Yeah.
Counting cards. Right? Take Ed to Vegas. Counting cards.
That's right.
Counting cards.
You mean there's more queens? There's lots of them. Lots of them.
Yeah, I would do that. And then
Randy, I didn't know you were in line with that. I kept asking, how the hell do you know I sing that? I didn't know that.
I'm like, trust me, I know Ray knows it. I know, and Dave knows it. I played it with them, and he'll sing it.
yeah, and as soon as they started playing, I'm like, oh, it's that song. Okay,
Yeah, right.
I've done that 100 times.
Yeah, because Ed was like, what? What song? I'm like, trust me, please.
All right, you ready? I could not tell you the name of that song right now. You just said it. I couldn't
Good.
tell you to save my life.
Gotta sing it.
It's the Austrian national anthem.
And it's all that clean living.
It's all like clean living. I need whiskey.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
That's what Billy sang. Right?
Right? Don't let the sun get you crying. Something like that.
That's it.
Who did it?
Oh, Gary the
Yeah,
Pacemaker.
look at everybody.
Jerry and the Pacemakers. That's it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Gary the Pacemaker. Yeah.
You know, the only reason I know that is because you mentioned it at one of your concerts.
Ah,
Wow.
Oh, I didn't come up with it then.
All right, Chris Owen, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for playing that
Very
song.
nice.
And I got
Thank
my
you,
little. I got my little fix of Jethro Tull, you know, like in my arm.
Yeah.
You know, let me ask you
What was
this.
the name of that song?
Forget it. I could never do it. But I know that the cover is these guys these old big
One white
walking, whatever. But
Yeah,
look
that's
what
right.
I have here. I have Chris Owen records, like
Oh, my-
CDs.
Ooh, merch.
Okay.
Oh,
So
We got merch.
My
Here's
van,
the table.
the jam
want
van,
to see the T-shirt?
exactly. The colorful van that I have blew its transmission, and this was in my van because I have a CD player in the van. So I pulled it out, and now I got it in the house. I don't have a CD player.
Nice.
All right. Well,
So
when you get around to listening to it, we'll talk.
can't wait. You're on Spotify too, right, Chris Owen?
Yeah, the one album is on Spotify. The other one
Nice.
was so old that I don't know. The other one didn't go on, but I'll get it up there somewhere.
I know we've covered this, but why does Chris have the best audio of anybody on this show?
Well, you know what? We did a little sound check before the show today, he did something right. Like he tweaked in his settings, like bang. You know?
No, it's the
room
announcer
reverb.
at Yankee Stadium. It's the voice of God thing.
It's the God reverb.
Among other
Don
things,
Imus's voice.
Gary
Among
Layton
other
on the
things.
organ.
it has
you
to
know,
do, it
Chris
has to
Owen,
do
you're
with the
gonna-
man's voice. It has
Honestly,
to do with
Chris
the man's
Owen,
voice.
you need to write down a master class sheet on what you
Right.
did to
That's
make
true.
it, because everybody's got that interface and everybody's got that computer, but you need
Well-
to tell everybody how you did that because you
Right.
dialed it in.
Well, like everybody else, I started with nothing and just a computer, and it was so god awful. I just couldn't handle it. So I
I
talked to
started as a
Ed.
young lad with a lavalier, and then
I lived in a shoebox in the middle of the road.
we
18
used to
wheelers
only
were going
dream of
by.
a shoebox. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It was a nice pair of shoes, but the box was not great. So Ed talked me into, I said I needed an interface. I said, what's that? I mean, this is just 6 months ago. I didn't know what an interface was. So I looked it up and did some research, and I found this thing called the Focusrite, which I think Nick has one.
Yep.
But what I did was I have a Trace amp over there, which is a nice little English PA acoustic amp. It's like a coffee house thing. It's got 2 6-inch speakers in it, and it's got a line out. So I put the guitar in one channel, and then I put the mic in the other channel, and I ran a line directly into one channel of the Focusrite, and that was good for a while.
Yeah.
But then it started like the last few weeks. The guitar was overly compressed, which is the same problem I was having before I got the Focusrite. So today I put in on a set. There are 2 lines on this thing, so I put the guitar into a second line. So the guitar is in its own line, and the vocals in its own line.
Sounds
And
good.
you add a little bit of reverb and echo to it, and some special sauce. That's it. I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Get me a good mic.
Right.
It's funny.
That's
When I
it,
was looking
yeah.
for those, they were all gone.
The sauce we do not reveal. Everything
right.
else.
Not
Yeah.
going
I'll
to
tell
reveal
you,
the
I'll
sauce.
tell you what kind of
Excuse
pan
me.
I cook
Yeah.
it in. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what kind of fork and spatula I use to stir that thing in.
That's right.
But the spices, no.
It's. I'll tell you.
That's like
I'll tell
that
you.
old joke. How many mafia guys does it take to put in a light bulb? Somebody has to say how many.
How many?
How many?
You ask a lot of questions, don't you?
Right.
So all of those terms I don't speak, it's a different language to me. Ed, you gotta come over and show me what I need in order to help it. To me, interface is
Right.
arguing with my wife. That's all I get out of it.
Similar concept.
Oh my God. So I got to show you guys something. All right. So while we were just having that banter right now, right? All right.
Yep.
So I'm out here in the woods in Pennsylvania, and I've got a big long deck along the side of my house. And so I've got some stray cats that I've been feeding. So the word got out that I'm feeding stray cats. So now I've got 9 stray cats. I've got an opossum, 2 raccoons, a mouse, a bird, and this guy. My camera just went off, and I'm not sure this is happening right downstairs right now. And you can hear us in the background doing
Wow.
Jam TV. And there was a skunk like 8 feet away from me under the deck, right over there.
It is Pepe
No.
Le Pew.
Yeah. Right.
And every once in a while, he turns around because the camera has a light on it, and it goes a little blue light. And he turns around, he looks at the blue light, and he like charges it. And he's like, he stamps his feet. He gets really angry, and I'm like, oh God, he's gonna spray like right under my deck, you know. Well, I think I'm gonna have to move the cat feeding operation into the forest, you know.
He thinks it's the blue light district.
Yeah. No, he is he is definitely a threat to my pleasant life out here.
Yes.
He lets go, you know.
That's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Pest control guy.
Just like that. Just like that.
Might have to trap him.
So Nick
So-
Carter, what do you got for us?
Well, we got a few tunes here, I guess. We got a few. So I'm interested, Chris. That your sound system sounds really good. I'm interested though. How's this coming through? Is this all right?
Yeah, good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Is that too heavy? Too hot?
Sounds good.
So the reason I bring it up with all good sport is actually my Focusrite. I removed it and picked up this mixer thing. So we'll see, because Chris sounds pretty damn good. So I might have to go back to the Focusrite.
What kind of mixer did you get? What was it? What is it?
It's a Yamaha MG10X2.
Oh, with compression. Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy stuff.
Here we go. So we'll go with an original called "Work My Way Back Home." How's that? Is that okay? About Saturday mornings. This was born on the back porch of the house about, 4 or 5 years ago. I have memories of Dave Rao working that cajon at Bobby Q's, just boom. I'll back it down. All right, yeah, Dave, love it. Okay. Wish I could take all my Saturdays with you and take them with me all week long. First sign of trouble, the memories would pull me through, and I'm with you again, and it feels like home. All week long, my mind wanders back to you, back to the moment where your love pours long and cool. My job's no good, and if my buddies could, they'd jump to take my place. Oh, life feels so cruel until I'm home with you. And Saturday keeps me warm all week long till I find my way back home, where we go undercover. We're face to face, just you and me, and the only place we gotta be is nowhere reserved for you and me. Then Saturday morning, oh, Saturday morning, Sunday comes and there's a broken drum beating in my chest when you say, wake me in the morning before you go. So we hold each other like outlaw lovers. Then I hit the road again, and the week won't go by fast enough until I'm home with you. And it's Saturday, we're together all week long. I work my way back home, where we go undercover, and we're face to face, just you and me. The only place we gotta be is nowhere reserved for you and me. And Saturday morning, yeah. Whoa, whoa, Saturday morning. Saturday, she keeps me strong all week long, and then I work my way back home, where we go undercover. We're face to face, and then we're free, and the only thing we gotta be, the only place is nowhere reserved for you and me. Saturday morning, Saturday, she keeps me strong all week long, when I work my way back home, where we go undercover, and we're face to face, then we're free. The only place we gotta be is nowhere reserved for you and me. Saturday morning, Saturday morning, whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
very nice.
Beautiful.
Appreciate that. So we got a cover coming up, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-oh. What's
I guess it's So there's this cover that I just thought sounded very sweet. It's a Springsteen cover, and I don't do a lot of Springsteen, but I just thought this was kind of cool. It's very unlike him, I think. I got $1 in my pocket.
Oh yeah.
Not a cloud up above. Got a picture in my wallet. Says, baby, I love you. But if you weren't looking then, boys, then fellas don't go looking now. 'Cause here she comes a walking. She's all that ever will allow. Say, hey there, Mr. Bouncer. Say all I want to do is dance. But I swear I left my wallet back home in my working pants. Come on, Slim, let me in, man. I'll make it up to you somehow. I can't be late, I got a date with all that heaven will allow. Now rain and storm and dark sky, you know that don't mean a thing when you got a girl who loves you and she wanna wear your ring. So come on, Mr. Trouble, we'll make it through here somehow. We'll fill this house with all the love, all that ever will allow. Now some men wanna die young, man, young and gloriously. Set it straight now, mister, buddy, that ain't me. Got something on my mind now, yeah. Get me straight and walk in the crowd. All I want is time, but all that ever will allow. Now rain and storm and dark skies, you know they don't mean a thing when you got a girl who loves you, she wanna wear your ring. So come on, Mr. Trouble, we'll make it through somehow. We'll fill this house with all the love, all that ever will allow. We'll fill this house with all the love, all that ever will allow. We'll fill this house with all the love, all that ever will allow. All that ever will allow. Yeah, all right. I saw Randy kind of go, yeah, I know that. So very good.
That's a great tune. I can't remember where I heard that, but it was many years ago that I heard that song.
It's from the Tunnel of Love album, which has none of the E Street Band on it.
Right.
It's a completely different. It was the one tour I saw him on that tour.
No kidding. Yeah.
And it also has Tougher Than the Rest.
Yes.
And a Tunnel of Love, of course. And you're right. It has it's a different writing style for him.
Yeah.
It's not that, hey, it's none of that. It's a great song.
It's like solicitous. It's like he's come to the girl's door with a bouquet of flowers, right? In a lot of those songs, it's like he's there, Well, anyway,
right now,
I was wondering what it was.
Right now.
As soon as you hit those first two words, I'm like, yes, that was cool.
Yeah, what's he doing right now, Billy Foster?
He's got some really beautiful songs that you wouldn't even know it's him unless someone told you. And I heard on television, and they did a documentary just a little while ago, and it showed his process for writing the new stuff and how he's making the change. But it's still all it's him. All good.
Hey, I got a story for you about Springsteen. You're gonna fall off your chairs. So he lives in New Jersey, right? So my mother-in-law has this wonderful friend who's 90 years old now, who has this ethereal voice, even almost now. She was kind of an opera singer. Anyway, so she goes 20 years ago. She's in the gym in Red Bank, New Jersey, working out, and Bruce is there too, and she's a beautiful woman, and she's very sweet and quite charming, and so he and Lillian strike up a conversation, and he hears her singing to her ear pod or whatever, and he said, you have a beautiful voice, and she said, well, thank you. I'm actually working on some lullabies for my granddaughters. And he says, tell me about them. And so she tells him about the lullabies, and she's singing a cappella, and she tries a few out on him, and he says, hey, why don't you come out to my studio out in Colts Neck or wherever it is, and I'll record you. Would you like that? She says, that's wonderful. How sweet of you, Bruce. Thank you. Right? So she knows who he is, right? But not in the way that the bunch of us know who he is. Anyway, so out they go. And she's recording away, and he's in the booth listening to her. And she really does have a pretty voice. And at one point, she's got the headphones on, and he clicks, the intercom, and he goes, this is, I heard this, I couldn't believe my ears. Her daughter told me about this. He says, Lillian, and she's, yes, Bruce. And he says, Lillian, these are so pretty. Would you like a little guitar on them? And she goes, oh no, Bruce, I don't want to be a bother. and so he says, oh okay, all right. That's it. And so her daughter Chris told me about this, and I said, that is just like amazing. It's like, there it is. It's like the train kind of, you could have had on your grandkids' lullabies, Bruce just kind of playing with you. Which, by the way, I think says volumes about what kind of a man this man is when
Absolutely.
No one's looking. You know what I mean? Which I think is really
what
cool.
A great story to bring her back and do all that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I'll do this.
That's really cool.
And he's very sweet to her, and I guess I don't know what their dialogue would be of late, but I thought you'd appreciate that, because I know we're all musicians and we all admire what that guy's done. So
that's great.
Well, he's all about music. Everything good. He's like Prince was. Everything is music. Every single thing is music.
Yeah. Has anybody heard his?
This will be a short Randy story, but
Please,
I met him too.
You
and
did?
I met him at a Bob Dylan Rolling Thunder Review concert in 1975 at the New Haven Coliseum. Rolling Thunder was, Dylan with McGuinn and Joan Baez and Mick Ronson. It was a really cool tour.
Nice.
And I'm walking down, my buddy goes, that's Bruce. And he's in like carpenter pants and a wife beater. And so me being me, I followed him into the men's room. I stood at the urinal next to him. And how's this for really great banter? I turn and go, Bruce, what are you doing here? And he says, I'm taking a piss and I'm checking out the show. What the fuck else is the guy gonna say?
That's cool. That's how I met Roger Daltrey, by the way.
That he played all the time. Anybody know the name of that club?
What's that?
Club he played it all the time.
Stone Pony.
Stone Pony, yeah.
Yeah, Stone Pony. All right.
Asbury
I
Park.
got lost with a friend of mine, and we ended up going to a diner, trying to get back over across the bridge to get home. We ended up going to a diner. It's like 3:00 in the morning.
No,
and I was flabbergasted to find out they had a complete steak dinner. And the other guys are going, give me a cup of coffee and a donut to go. And I'm going, man, they got a steak dinner. So they're all mad at me because I want a steak. Door runs up Springsteen, and what's the other guy's name?
You mean Clarence?
Steve
Little
Van Zandt?
Steven?
Steve Van Zandt?
Yeah. They come walking
guy
in the
that's in The
door.
Sopranos.
Everybody goes, hey, Bruce. They do sit down. I didn't talk to him or anything, but I thought that was so cool. And if we had just gotten those eggs and left, we never would have saw Springsteen.
There you go.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Did he order a steak too, or did he have a coffee and donut?
Yeah.
I don't remember what he ordered. I was just flabbergasted because it was him,
You were diving into his booth. An autograph.
Little Steven was like, I want to have the steak. Like, what are you doing? I want to have the steak. And Bruce was like, no, I'm not getting the steak.
Has anybody seen his conversation with Obama, Springsteen and Obama? Some podcasts. They're interesting. They're nice. They're not like mind-blowingly insightful, but it's a very nice back and forth between the two of these guys.
And the topic is?
Songwriting, music and the arts, and the importance of the arts in society. It's kind of broad. Obama doesn't say, Bruce, tell us your story, your life story, and Springsteen doesn't say, God, what made you want to run for president? Blah blah blah. There's a nice back and forth. It's kind of cool. It's
two regular guys.
Sorry.
Two regular guys.
Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's actually very interesting.
That's really cool. Look, at the end of the day, everybody's a person. Everybody's, right. Doesn't surprise me that Bruce Springsteen would record something because he's sitting around home bored too,
I'm going to strike by that. So about 10 years ago, Sue and my wife and I were at the Whitney Museum. This is about another celebrity. And it's not about me meeting him. It's about the way he was with Sue. And I'm going to tell you this. It's like a Springsteen kind of it's like at the bedside manner of a real human being. So I'm standing at the Whitney Museum looking at these exhibits, and Sue goes into the other room, and someone comes and stands behind me, and I'm looking at this Georgia O'Keeffe painting. And I'll keep this quick because I know Ed wants to move us along, but
no, you're good.
Okay, goes like this. So this voice behind me goes, "Hello there," and I turn, and in an arm's length is Paul McCartney and his fiance, and they're standing there, and the only thing I can think to say is I turn and I go, "Thank you." That's all I can say. I said, "Thank you." And he goes,
probably
"Thank
appreciated
you."
that.
And I said, "For everything you have given us," I said, "Thank you." And at the time I was teaching music and teaching music history. And so we chatted about what I do. And that was very nice. Sue comes back trying to figure out, where the hell I've been, right? And what you guys don't know is that Sue was born in Liverpool. She's a Brit. Wow. She's a Brit, naturalized American. And so, so she walks up, and I turned to Sir Paul and I said, "This is my wife, Sue. She was born in your hometown." He's had his arm around his fiancée, who is now his wife, and he lets go of her. And he takes Sue's hand in both of his, and he leans into her, and he says, "Hello, love." He said, "We got to stick together, haven't we now?" Yeah. So where were you in Liverpool? Where'd you grow up? And so for the next 5 minutes, he and Sue are talking about Ibstock Road and Bootle and all of these places of Liverpool that I grew up when I was courting Sue. I heard all about. And now he's talking about it like it's home. And the two of them are going like this.
That's great.
Oh, cool.
And no hard day's night in there, baby. It's just So where you from? So where'd you grow up? So where's your mom? Is your mom still alive? And the guy was just like, "Oh, I'm so goddamn glad to meet another Englishman." So it was very cool. That's all.
That's cool. It's very interesting because famous people, very, very obviously he's very famous, but even moderately famous people are sick of people being like, "Oh my God, it's so I listen."
Yeah, they hate it.
They name off the songs on the record and how at concerts, and they're like, "Oh God, like I just want to treat me like a human being." And I got a funny story about that. Is that I went to see Johnny Winter before he passed away. I went to see him play, and I knew some people in the band, so I got invited on the bus or the camper. They had a camper outside, and so I went over, and they're like, "Oh, like whatever you do, don't bother him. He's having his dinner, and he's up in the front of the thing at the table watching his soap opera. Or the hell, we were watching TV, some lousy show." And he was like this. He was like, and they go, "He's grumpy, like leave him alone. We can hang out back here and whatever." So I of course walk right up to him and say, "You mind if I sit down with you?" Right. So I sit down with him on the bus, and he looks at me like, "What kind of hell are you gonna bring me now?" And I said, "I heard you have goats, that you like goats, and I always raised goats. My mother had goats." And he was like, "Goats?" He's like, yeah, I have goats. I love goats. And he lit right up, and everybody's looking at us like, what the fuck are they talking about over there? Like, what's going on over there? And they're like, what were you saying to him? Like, he doesn't like anybody. I'm like, we talked about goat herding. You know?
and if I may, he lived in a little town called Easton, Connecticut, which is where I live.
Right.
And he is 2 minutes from here. I used to see him.
Right.
On Tranquility Drive, he lived on. I can say it now because he's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he had goats. I saw him.
Yeah, so because he doesn't want to talk about the show.
Yeah, I know. Remember that time in Texas when you were on stage? God. Yeah.
So McCartney, by the way, he turns to Sue and he goes, so tell me, do you like Georgia O'Keeffe? And Sue says, well, we actually just came today because we are just starting to learn about her. And he goes, oh, let me help you. He said, take a look at this one. And he gives Sue, not me. He's like, this is what you do to appreciate Georgia O'Keeffe.
Nice.
And he says, and if you ever want to see more of her, go to Santa Fe. There's got a great exhibit there. No, I have a shitty. I'm not, whatever. You get the idea. He's like, and then he goes, lovely. Have a lovely day, and off he goes.
That's cool.
The best part of the story.
They don't want to talk about how popular they are.
You're right, Billy.
Talk about real life things,
That's right.
I played at the Roadhouse in the city. Any of you guys ever played a Roadhouse?
No.
I did a gig at the Roadhouse. Marky Lang, some guys from Mountain, they put together this group of people from famous bands, but they were the drummer, the bass player, and all this. So anyway, we played, and I ended up singing. And I go upstairs to the dressing room, the 3 flights up with a circle staircase. And we go up there, and about the second set, all of a sudden the door opens up, and in walks Jack Bruce and Phoebe Snow. And they walk into school, so don't act like an asshole. Everything else. Now, over in the corner of the room, there was a television set. All the other guys are talking, walk in, and they're all Phoebe with the stuff and everything. And I'm over in the corner, and I'm watching boxing match, and I'm really into this boxing match. The guys that's my thing. They're really into it. Jack Bruce, other than being the most, I've never seen. He walked in there, did cocaine, heroin, couple of foods, and everything else, and walked like he hadn't blinked an eye. If I did any of the stuff he did, I would have died of an overdose. That's how strong he was with his drugs. But when he walked over the corner, he said, "Who's this?" Oh, that's, what the hell is it? Sugar Ray Leonard. He goes, oh, Leonard. He goes, when Leonard fought and him and I got into this boxing, before he told me he was Jack Bruce. I know who the hell he was. And we talked for like 5 minutes about Sugar Ray Robinson and all his fights and stuff, So, yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about real things.
Back to the McCartney thing, I'm sure as everybody's seen the Saturday Night Live thing where Chris Farley interviewed Paul McCartney. And it's a skit. And he asks him every inane Beatles question. They're like, so do you remember when you were in the Beatles? Yes, Chris, I do. Yeah, that was awesome. The best was, you remember when everybody thought you were dead? Yes, Chris, I do remember that.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Were you?
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. I got that.
That's great.
Paul is dead now. Paul is dead now.
Mikey. What's up, boys?
How you doing, Mikey?
Good.
How you doing, Mikey?
I'm good. How are you?
What's that?
Doing okay.
We're having fun hanging on the show. Everybody's like, "Oh, Ed wants to move it along." I don't want to move it along. This is the best. The best.
That was great. That's great fun.
Hanging out, name dropping stories.
Right. Exactly.
Got a million of them.
Hey, did you guys ever see? The Rocky Horror Picture Show? Like in they used to play it in in the New Yorker. It was a movie theater on the Upper West Side, and then they did
down
it
in the Village. I used to go down in the Village and in Boulder, Colorado, to see that. Midnight.
They used to do it They did it in Boston once, right?
They played like this short film before the movie called Bambi Meets Godzilla.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I found it on. I found it on YouTube.
Oh, that's great! I got to watch that. I remember that. What is it? Animated?
Yeah, it's like it's an illustrated. It's like a cartoon.
I do remember this. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to the one in Greenwich Village on what the Waver is it the Waverly Theater?
8th Street. 8th
Yeah,
Street.
on 8th Street. Yeah, and I used to go down there and I was dating this girl that was into the Rocky Horror. We used to go all the time for like the late. It was like a midnight show, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they played that as well. That rings a bell.
I love that song Time Warp. I don't know if we could ever pull that off like as a video though.
I don't know. You know, I mean, some of the complex things that you've been doing and working with big horn sections, and why not? It might be fun to pull that off. You know,
we have to get like dancers and stuff. You know,
well,
just jump to the left.
I got a song I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do. I want
What's
you guys to do in a New York minute.
Which is Michael McDonald?
I think you guys could kick butt on that song.
Is that Michael McDonald? Who is that?
Eagles. Joe Wells.
Eagles with Don Henley.
Oh yeah.
Don Henley.
Right.
But the way they did it on the album when they came back together, the acoustic album, that arrangement, any way you want to do that, I think you guys kill on that, man. In a New York minute, I think you can kill it.
I'll check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be kind of fun. I mean, the other thing is that now that COVID is letting up a little bit, like I could meet you at Dave Rao's thing some Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and we could go like off into the park, and I could set up my camera and put some headphones on you and record you doing the part. Then whereas 2 months ago, like you're risking your life, but now
the Park Jam TV.
Right. Exactly.
Park Jam TV.
Exactly. So good stuff. So Mikey B's, you think some of the other participants are going to start showing up? I know we got Winston. There's Winston.
Hey, there's Winston.
Oh, we sort of have Winston. What's he doing? What are you doing, Winston?
I'm trying to hook up my headset here.
Where are you, Winston? I have Winston's ear.
I want what he's smoking.
Yeah, exactly. The camera points at your nose, Winston. Point the camera at your nose.
We like that wall.
Nice guitar in the background.
I like that guitar. I agree. Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
All right, Winston. There he is. Oh, my God.
I think Carl was somewhere.
Yeah, where are you, Carl? If you're watching, come on. He's probably texting me going, can I come in now? But there's a cool video. Mike, why don't you tell us about that video? That
it's like a really funky Joe Louis song called Sugarfoot, and Holly was dying to do this song. Like she came up with it and she sent it over to me, and the second I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is totally cool. I love this shit.
Now what's really weird. Is his name really Joe Louis? It's something Joe Louis, right? He calls
himself Black Joe Louis.
Black Joe Louis, which is actually very, very odd because as you said his name, I went looking for the song and I'm thinking, oh, this is like 1960s funk or whatever. It's not. Like he made this a few years ago.
Well, it sounds just really authentic. Like, he's like one of those guys, that.
Right. But he's not. He's a young guy, and he did it like 3 years ago or 5 years ago or something.
Really?
It's like relatively new. I don't know, maybe it's 10 years, but it's relatively new. And I was like, who is this? Like, I don't remember. It's a song that's got that funky groove that you're like, oh, I remember hearing this in 1974 at the whatever in New York. But it's not. Like, he just replicated that sound. And I listened to all of his material one day in the car driving back to Connecticut. And this is his best song by far,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's not James Brown. He doesn't have like 100 things that are amazing, But the funny thing about Joe Louis, I didn't realize that was his name. Of course, it is his name. Is that my grandmother used to have a New York Post cover framed in the kitchen of her house. And my last name is Train, right? So my grandfather was my dad's dad, so it was Train, right? And Joe Louis was a famous boxer,
Right?
Yes. Like a super famous boxer.
Yes.
And
Best ever in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but like during World War II or something, like a long time ago.
Yes.
And they set up a boxing ring. Hey, JC Alza coming in. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good to see you.
Hey.
Hey, you guys.
How you
So-
doing?
So they set
How are
up a boxing ring in Times Square, right? And then they did an exhibition fight to promote the real fight. And Joe Louis went and like kicked the crap out of some guy in Times Square. And the New York Post headline is a big photograph of all the people around the ring, and it says crowd forms in Times Square to watch Joe Train. And Joe Train was my grandfather's name.
Oh wow.
There's my connection to Joe Louis. I've been looking for that one.
Perfect.
That's a good story. I like that.
Joe Train, you know.
I like that.
So okay. Listen, I'm going to do a little bit of a switch out. Don't
Yeah,
feel
no,
bad.
I'm going to go
Yeah,
voluntarily. So.
If you're going to take off because I've got a couple of people banging on the door to get in.
Yeah, and actually, I got to get up at dark 30, so I'll volunteer.
Fantastic.
That's my box.
And I'll hop out too. Thanks, man.
Good to see all you guys. We'll be right back with a video
See you
from
next
last
week.
minute.
Thank you. All the best, guys. Stay well.
Bye. There we go.
Hey.
I'm still here.
Hey.
Except somebody is watching the Facebook feed. Who is that?
That's me.
Stop it. Don't do that. Turn that
There
off.
we go.
There we go. How you doing, Carl?
Hey, everybody. How's it
Hey, Carl.
going?
What's up?
What's up? Not much.
Was that
Good
you
to see
banging
all.
on the studio door trying to get in?
That was me.
Yeah,
Somebody,
good.
Keep
If
on
anybody
knocking,
else-
but I can't come in.
Holly, if you're there, or any of the horn players who are there trying to get in, we got plenty of room right now in the studio. We just had a nice festive.
And boot me out if you need to. It's all
No,
right.
you're good. You're good. We have 3 slots available. It's you're limited to 10
Sure.
slots on the. It's a technological limitation. So okay. So Mike, tell us a little bit more. Go start again. Tell us
All right,
about
so-
this video.
So,
It came out great.
So I got some a cool. I told Holly she should do her video against a white background, and I found because she didn't have a green screen, but I found like this online software like where you can upload a video and it removes the background if it's a solid background and you have like a good contrast, like a dark. You're wearing dark clothing and you're up against a white background. So I was able to get her completely out of her background.
That's cool.
It was kind of cool.
Nice.
That was like my first foray into like pseudo green screening.
Matting. Yeah, you can do it's called luminance keying, and you can do that in Final Cut Pro, and you can probably do it in your software. There's probably a tool to do that, but it's not as good as a green screen, obviously. But it looks really good though in the way you did it.
Well, I mean this online thing does a really, really good job. So I just I uploaded it. It sent me back like a mat, like a mask and the whole thing, and I was able to do it. And then I mean there's a lot of moving parts in this video, a lot of like really fast hits, like horn hits. So I tried to sort of edit the video to kind of give it a little punch, and I did it in 8 hours. So it was like, I got all the files. I got the very final stuff like yesterday, and I just like cranked on it, and now it's ready. So
yeah, it really sounds great, and it's really fun. So like when I first got the track, I didn't know who was on the track, and I'm like, who the hell is playing bass on that thing? It's like it's like a guy with a 50 caliber machine gun. It's like, it's like so fast. And when I tried to do the clavinet part, I was like, oh my God, my fingers don't want to play this fast, you know? And then of course it was you, JC.
Yeah, JC that.
That's a great tune, man. A lot of fun playing that song. It's
Yeah.
very
You have
cool.
to-
Yeah.
We have to play that live. We just
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to do that.
We better have a
That'd be
rehearsal.
cool. Yeah,
Because all the material that we've been choosing, for the most part, is actually pretty hard to pull off. You can't just whip it off. And we're going to have a couple rehearsals if we're going to do some of this stuff live. But I look forward to that.
The great thing about these videos is that you can work stuff up that if you were preparing 3 sets of music for a live show, you couldn't spend the kind of time that we're spending on one song, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
You would.
And
Not
that
good,
that
you
crazy thing that we did from La La Land. I mean, that was so much work just to do one song, right?
And it's a
But
short song, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song is a short song, too. It's remarkably short, but it's got, like, more notes than any other song. It's got a lot of notes. So with no further ado, here it comes. We'll talk about it after.
Sugarfoot called me last night. Said his girl called him. Said, can I come over? He said, yeah. 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 He said, she called him on the telephone. Said, hello, baby, how you doing? Can I come over singing tonight? I promise that you'll be feeling right as you give me love. Hey, I'm the Sugarfoot. She come on over knocking at my door. I went downstairs and let her in. Straight up to my bedroom we going. Just doing things I'll never know. Ever give me love. Hey, I'm Sugarfoot. Brought me down straight to my knees. Just doing things I've never seen. Got me crying just like a baby. Told my baby you're just a freak. Hey, just give me love. Hey, oh, Sugarfoot. Hey, where my horns at? You with me? Yeah. You with me? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. I said, no, baby, give it your loving. I need it. I'm squeezing. I'm touching. I'm rubbing. I told you, come on out here, baby. You gotta give me my sugar. Wow, she give me love. Hey. Got me feeling so dang good. Laid up in the middle of the night. My baby don't let me get no rest. Brought me down straight to my knees. Oh, give me love. Hey. Oh, Sugarfoot.
Wow. Joe Lewis.
Yes, yes.
That's
so fun. Nice
That was
job.
Funky.
That was sweet,
Yeah.
JC.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. That was great.
Casey is like, like I
see that was cool shit, man. That was really
Thank
good.
you, man. Thanks, brother. Yeah,
Definitely a
man.
showman too.
I'd be
with the horn
cramping up on that.
Definitely a showman too.
What's up,
That
Jimmy?
was sweet. Yo,
What's up,
Mikey,
Jimmy?
JC,
What's up, bro?
Carl, Randy,
Jimmy.
Billy, Winston,
Hey, buddy.
Ed, everybody.
Hey,
I
man.
know.
It's a beautiful
Gang all here.
thing.
Yeah, you know,
That was so much fun. Ed, when I got your video, I was like, it's like you were like Frodo or something because you were like small behind the keyboard.
yeah. But so the keyboard is actually tiny. The keyboard that I used is this one. It's just a little tiny MIDI keyboard, but I literally did this. I tilted the camera down, and then I knelt on the floor behind it with my hands up here, with my head like that. And, you know, just to get something different, you know, you got to do something a little different once in a while.
It was cool. It was.
Well, do you have a
Yeah,
green
man.
screen behind you, Ed? When you're, because you got all that motion
Yeah, I
behind
got
you,
this
right?
green screen behind me, you know, and so you know the only way that I could do, and I did it super fast, right? Because I was leaving on a trip the next morning, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot to do it, right? So I was like, I got to do it, but I didn't have 4 hours to do it, so I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do where I don't have to like relight, you know? And I like had this setup, you know, done this way, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make it that way. And then I had on my iPhone all these time lapses that I shoot out of the Mini when I'm going like on roads out here in Pennsylvania with the snow, and I just matted that together. It was kind of fun.
Cool.
That was cool.
Definitely cool.
Yeah. And Carl, I love
It's fun doing
that
the horn charge.
that
for that,
guitar
too.
thing. That.
Was
Yeah,
that two
man.
tracks?
That's cool.
Was
Love
that two
It
guitar
was.
tracks?
It was. I did one, you know, the straight rhythm track, and then I was listening to it, and I went online, and there was one thing where there were two parts, and one of the parts was totally wrong. But there's and there I watched. There's definitely two guitarists playing on that song every time, and during the da 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 part, there's a guy doing a lower, you know, a lower octave kind of thing. And the hard part about that is that guy never loses the 16th note rhythm with his right hand ever.
Yeah.
He never
Like James
stops.
Brown. Yeah.
And yeah, and
Plays
so
it all night long.
yeah, and what's so cool about that is, however, he changes when he goes to the break part, that da 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 da. He changes the hits, but he's still going up and
Still
down.
there, yeah.
Notes. And that was the hardest part. Like the first part with the dan dan dan, it was not too hard, but when he went into da 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 da, you needed to get that da 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 da. Otherwise, it just wasn't the song, you know. And
Right.
that
Yeah,
was
and
the
it was
hardest
hard on the
to do.
horn side too. It was, you know,
Horns were great.
It sounds easy.
Yeah,
a
nice
lot
job
of
on
that
the
kind of stuff sounds
wow.
easy.
It's like it's only
But
two notes. Da 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 da. Right? It's not a big. It's like it's so fast.
It's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
play them all at the same time.
Right.
The really tricky part for me was the intro, because
Yes.
like
Right.
he I did the drum track. Holly couldn't do her vocal track first because like she needed to hear the hits.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like so she's coming in. You know, Sugarfoot called me last night, but that hit comes on the upbeat.
Right.
It doesn't come on the one. It comes
Right.
Yeah.
you know, like the hits were very precise but they weren't on the one.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like-
what
Makes it
caused me.
funky.
I had to do about 4 takes, but thank God all of the takes were that beginning. Like I was like, play, and then it was like, you're gonna call me that. No,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I missed it again. Like, what's the matter with me? Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, you can see the
and
horn chart. It's all offset, and you know Mikey sent me a version with a click track on it. I said, thanks, Mike, because now I can write the horns down so that we'll all hit those hits at the same time. Because without it, it was kind of impossible. You know, like to
the
listen
click
to
was
the
like-
vocals and hit it. That was critical. The click track
It was
critical.
so weird to put the click track to that because I had to reverse engineer it. I had to go into the song like where it actually had a 4/4 click, and then I kept like putting
And then you went backwards. You got to
backing it up, backing it up all the way to the beginning of the song, and that was the only way I could actually figure out where those hits like actually come. You know, like
But if you're doing it live, you know, if you're doing it live, you just follow the singer. But we're not live, you know. So how you coordinate it when you're not live, right?
Right.
So
well, horn players, you guys.
We're
have
only a
charts.
month or two away from live.
Yeah, cross your fingers. We're starting to dabble in it
I'm
a little
hoping.
bit. You know?
I'm praying.
Yeah,
I got my second shot last week. I can't wait.
I'm starting to do like invitation only Jam TV sessions at the boat club, my Norwalk Boat Club, and where we can do it outside on the deck, and there's a little tiny audience, and there's a bar. And so we're going to do that. And what I'm thinking of doing is the first several of them will be acoustic, you know, like an acoustic player and a singer, and you know Billy can sing and Dale Alley can sing, like we did it before last week. But then what I'd like to do maybe in 6 weeks, like everybody's got their shot. Everybody in our age group has a shot. And what I'd like to do is, you know, we could put together a little mini set, like a 45-minute set of 6 songs of like last minute production songs, and do that. And then the show, that's it, you know?
That would be cool.
So, you know, because I know that there are lots of bands that are now rehearsing and getting ready to do something. They don't know when. And so maybe they can come down and get their feet wet at the boat club, and we can put it on Jam TV Live. You know, like a featured set. That's kind of what I'm toying with. So
that's a good idea.
Maybe we'll get Jason Jones and JC down. Maybe we get, you know, at different times to do like little mini set, and you know, and put it out on Jam TV, because everybody's going to start playing at some point. It might not be till the fall or later in the summer, but
well, we have a gig.
May 29th.
We have a gig on May 29th at the Captain's Cove.
Outside?
No, it's inside. It's at night.
Inside.
But it's going to be
really.
It's all socially distant. And yeah.
What's the date?
May 29th.
I'm down with May 29th.
What's that?
Why would you be inside? It's beautiful. Outside.
Well, it's at night. We're starting at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it in the big room.
The band
the big room has high ceilings, you know. And
It's high, and they open it up. They opened up the sides and stuff. They air it out pretty well.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty, like there'll be a lot of space. I was there actually 2 days ago to check it out, and it's huge. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but
yeah,
I'm definitely planning to come check that one out, Mikey.
What's
There's
that?
a band to play a bar in the back where the boat is.
Yeah,
where
the Titanic is hanging.
Still
Yeah.
plays back there.
Yeah,
underneath the
We played there
Titanic.
with the showman. You imagine what we had to do with the horn section in there? Like 5 horns. Just the horns were 5 feet.
Right.
It was a great gig. Great gig.
Yeah, I've actually seen. I think you guys played outside a couple of times there too, didn't you, Billy?
A bunch of times. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the history of that place with us was, it was on a loop. For the years when we got up there, we heard about it. All the bands that played were on a loop. So they played on a regular. So now, if someone couldn't make it, they called in one of the alternates. So we got called in one time. Guy fell in love with us because the audience danced and they had a good time. But I guess a lot of bands didn't do the advertisement that he wanted. You know, hey, the boat ride is so-so. They got so inside. It's coming up for, you know. And we did all that stuff. We made fun. We had fun with it. We went out to a lady and said, hey, you want to try some of this? We have a way to bring it over and she'd eat it. She loved it. We were a regular thing there all the time until the daughter took over. When she took over, it got bad. It got bad. Almost got into a fist fight with the man.
Down, 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 down.
It happened.
Unreal.
Yeah, club owners. You know, one thing I have not missed for the most part, there are some fabulous club owners. There are great clubs, and there are great clubs that have lousy owners, and vice versa.
Right.
You
We all know that.
Nothing will ruin your life like a bad club owner, bad attitude, getting treated bad. You're like, why am I doing this? You know.
Well, it's so bad that after a while, I told her, she called up 4 years later. We played there for 4 years. We were there every week on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. 4 years we didn't play, and she called up. They needed the band. And the whole band goes, Bill, we got to play there again, man. Come on. Let's just let that shit go and let's go play. I go, you fucking go play it. I don't want to go there. I'm not even going to go fucking watch it. Go play. I'll accept it.
You don't call me for 4 years? Fuck you.
To Ed's point, you know, we're not doing this for fame. We're clearly not doing it for fortune. We're doing it because it's good for the soul and we enjoy it. And if you're going to wreck the fun and make it miserable,
well, screw you.
Absolutely right. I mean, like bad club owner. You know, like Bobby at Bobby Q's is he actually a music lover and actually like kind of has a restaurant so he can do music. Like he really loves it. But that's the exception.
Right. Very much the exception.
How about Nancy at the Georgetown Saloon? Anybody know Nancy up at the Georgetown Saloon? Oh my God!
Yeah,
really.
Oh yeah, that's another one I got in trouble up there. I got a bouncer.
This guy.
The bouncer smacked the girl outside in the front, and I didn't know he was the bouncer, and I punched him out. I wasn't allowed to go in there for about 7-8 months.
Who was that, Bob? The big guy, Bob?
Yeah, he smacked the girl right out in front of the place, and I fucking laid him out, and I couldn't go in there.
Every time I tune into one of these shows and Billy's on, you got some story where you're laying somebody out, man.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I know that guy. That guy, he had a really cute.
I'm behind him, man.
That
He's
guy,
not
Bob,
just a singer.
He looked like Mr. Clean, right? He looked like Mr. Clean. He had and he muscle man and whatever. And he was a nice enough guy, unless he was drinking, but he was always drinking, right? And so and then he became the bouncer at the Blue Parrot in Westport, down by the Duck, right? That fiasco, right? And one day I walk in, and the hostess was pretty girl. The hostess speaks with a German accent, so I start speaking to her in German. I'm like, oh, where are you from? I'm German. I'm Austrian, and we start talking in German. And he got mad, and he started threatening me. You don't talk to my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. You don't. And I'm like,
oh God!
It got real messy.
He can understand what you were saying to her. That's why he's getting mad.
German's not known being the language of. That's not the language of love. French is the language of love.
Jackson chemistry, maybe.
Russian neither.
You would like it, yeah.
Do you like bratwurst?
Why did the German cross the road? Because the sign said walk.
Let me tell you. And you know who's coming on after this mess that we're creating right here? Is my friend from childhood, Christoph Salper from Austria.
I have lots of German friends. Don't get me wrong.
He's coming on the show any minute, so you're going to have to deal with him. You know,
my dad was German.
Hey guys,
last time was at my wedding.
When Ed Friends comes on, let's all talk with our worst German accent. So just...
We are doing this already looks like a Hogan's Heroes episode. Okay.
I can tell my story. It's the punch, it's the face. Yeah.
Who was on Hogan's Heroes? Who was on? Let's cast Hogan's Heroes right here. There was the black guy, right? What was his name? Remember him? On Hogan's Heroes.
Dixon. Dixon was his name on the show.
Yep.
Ivan Dixon.
There was Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson. Who would be Richard Dawson?
Bob Crane.
Bob Crane, yeah.
Winston
has to be LeBeau, the French guy.
LeBeau's the French guy.
Oh, are we assigning parts here? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to cast.
I'll be starting the show.
No, you're Schultz. You're Schultz, man. Carl, you are definitely Schultz.
Okay. I know nothing. Nothing. I know nothing.
And it's. I think Jimmy has to be Colonel Klink. You gotta here's one of the glasses. You could definitely be Colonel Klink.
Oh my.
You're,
Oh my God.
I don't know. You're,
Hogan, please tell me where is the tank?
Mikey, you and me are one of the red shirts.
Oh, okay.
no, wasn't there
Hey,
like a
Dennis,
French radio man or something? You could be that guy.
Oh my God, Dennis, did you have a haircut?
Oh, heck no.
Oh no, you just did this. You just did the.
Oh man, that's
Dennis.
It really is.
Come on, go all the way. Take it off.
Oh yeah.
I swear, when I came to Dave Rouse thing a couple of weeks ago, Billy was there in Westport. People didn't recognize me. I had my hair down. And people were like, and people came up and they're like, "Is that Ed?" Like because I have long hair now, Yeah. Oh my God.
Yep.
It's not possible except for here.
There you go. Well, that was definitely good. Maybe I'll play another video real quick. What should I play?
Hey, play Spanish Moon. Remember that old one? That one.
Oh, yeah.
I know Jimmy McGuire was on that, and some of these other cats.
Yeah, where is that?
That's a blast from the past.
I just wanted to point out the reason I had to come on was for 4 bass players in one place.
I think,
we got the bass crew here.
I think Heidi might be watching.
You should put Randy down here and move Carl up so we get all 4 bass players on the down.
Oh yeah, right. We gotta get the bass players.
Yeah,
By the way, I just want to chime in and say that I played Sugarfoot for my son Nick, who you all know, and he listened to it. He's like, "Good bass player."
Yeah.
So props to
you.
you, JC.
Thank you,
That's not nothing. When I heard the first original track with the bass and the drums, I was like, "Who is that?" Actually, I thought it might be Nick. I was like,
"Man,"
because that's a precision. It's like a machine gun going off. It's got to,
That's a Cramp song for me.
Yep, that's what it was. I
would definitely recognize JC.
If you look at my face at the end of my take, I'm like,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that wasn't
right.
I was like my heart.
Your clap part was amazing. I mean, that was so spot on. That was really cool. That really added a lot.
The only way I could pull that off is because the drums were obviously super tight, the bass was super tight, and the guitars were just where they needed to be. Because the clav tends to be a little sloppy because of the way it works. And so you can't, if you listen to the clav on its own and you don't quantize it, it sounds messy. But it fits, like it's got some character, like groove character.
But you were right. You were right you were spot on. Like it's the pattern you were doing. Like it just fit perfectly.
But it was like my brain was on fire. Like it was like it was really hard to do. Like trying to get through it and not go like stop. I have to stop.
Right. I actually want to hear it again. Can we play it again?
Yeah, we'll play it again. But I'm gonna play Spanish Moon right now. Check it out.
That was fun, man.
It was a lot of fun. It was great getting them to do work with horns. It was a lot of fun.
I love the sound of that Rick, man. Nice groove.
Thank you. It's Midnight Blue. I love the Rick. It's easy to play, man.
Beautiful.
What was so cool was this. Sorry, man.
Give me another song, Mike. I want you guys to do. I give you another song. I want you guys to. Los Lobos, Kiko and the Lavender Moon. You guys would kill that.
Oh, that's a great tune.
What is it?
Really
What is
cool,
it?
Really cool. Everything about it is just really cool.
Kiko?
Kiko and the Lavender Moon.
Kiko and the Lavender Moon.
Check it out.
Los Lobos, they do a lot of definitely good stuff. By the way, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, my good friend Christoph Salker from Austria. You see him on the bottom row on the right there?
Welcome.
Hey, Christoph. How you doing, Christoph?
I'm doing fine. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
He's a newbie on Jam TV. He's a newbie on YouTube and Facebook and all that. And we used to hang out when I was 10 years old and he was 8 years old in Austria. And we haven't seen each other since then. But he found the show on YouTube. And he found my YouTube channel anyway. And
Where in
so
Austria?
cool.
What part of Austria?
So your wife is from Vienna, right, Billy? Your wife is from Vienna, right, Billy Foster?
Yeah, she's from Perkersdorf. Is one of the the 12 districts. Yeah, Perkersdorf from Vienna.
Right. And so we're from like about a 2-hour drive towards Salzburg, so to the west.
Oh, okay.
In the woods, in the mountains, in the foothills of the Alps.
Were you in Sound of Music?
Yes, it was exactly like that. I swear to God.
You see the one that fell off the cliff? That was it. That's the one that went down.
I think I was in a former life, maybe.
Yes. No, it's really true. It is like that. There are cows and fields of wildflowers and edelweiss and churches on the mountaintops and it's crazy beautiful.
And your last president said we live in forest cities.
Forest cities, yeah.
Forest cities.
Ooh, Trump said that?
Yeah.
Our last president was
Sounds about right.
was an idiot.
Nobody here likes Donald Trump.
No, we're not Trumpers here. I don't think.
We had a little problem there.
It was a slight hiccup.
We'd like to apologize to a lot of people.
That's a non sequitur.
That's how I went through international travel. Like I'm from America.
Take my word for it. A long time we'll be apologizing for that.
I went to Montreal like after the first year he was elected. And as soon as I get there, I'm like, I'm from America. Let me start with an apology. He had just picked a fight with Trudeau like the week before I got there. I'm like,
right.
And real quick, we have a fan who's watching in Indonesia.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man.
There's
Nice.
a lady who I've been communicating with who's a singer in Indonesia. She saw my picture playing bass. She wanted to hear my music. I heard her music. So I'll say hi to Mary Christina over in Indonesia.
That's
Cool.
very cool.
And we also have Stan. We have Stan from Australia. The same guy I told you that's been watching all the jam sessions, Wendy's. He knows all you people that play on a regular. He knows you all by name. He can't wait to get here. The COVID is what stopped him. He watched every week all the jams. He watched all of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we've got.
Hey, Stan, how you doing, buddy?
We have people in Sweden. We have people in Japan. Eric Jacobson. We've got Australians. Thailand. We're big in Thailand. So
yeah,
Texas.
And now Indonesia, Sumatra.
We're big in Japan.
Philippines, Japan. Yeah, Eric couldn't make it tonight. Eric Jacobson couldn't make it on tonight.
And we've got Heidi in Texas.
Heidi in Texas.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Yeah,
Heidi, get well soon.
I hope she's watching.
Yes, get better soon. Well, she's on a long path to getting better. It's going to take a while.
She slipped. For those of you who don't know, Heidi slipped on the ice and broke her arm.
Had
really
a bad
badly.
break.
Yeah.
Really bad break.
You know, and so she's been struggling with this and dealing with it. And my heart goes out when I broke my arm. not nearly as badly as she did last year.
Wow.
The doctor was like, "Oh, don't worry, 6 to 8 weeks it'll be healed." And so 8 weeks out, I'm like, I went to the doctor and he's like, and I'm like, "Ow, that hurts like hell." I thought you said 6 to 8 weeks. He said, "No, it's healed. It's just gonna hurt for 6 months." I was like, "Wait, what? Like, what do you mean it's gonna hurt for 6 months?"
Yeah, their 6 to 8 weeks is, just for it to knit. It has nothing to do with.
All they mean is you can't sue me if it heals for 6 to 8 weeks.
What are you, some kind of wuss? Yeah.
That's like the big ads for drugs on television. The first 2 minutes tells you what the drug is for and how it can help. 5 minutes of it could get your head could fall off. You could get cancer. You could 5 minutes of that. And only 2 minutes.
Unbelievable. And they have to get a speed reader to do it.
May cause anal bleeding.
Oh my God, that's right.
There you go. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, to clear up your skin, right? It's like some medication to clear your skin. It might cause tuberculosis, bleeding. It's like, wait a minute, for clear skin?
COVID.
It's like, where the hell is the world going? It's ridiculous.
And the best one is Humira because it's for eczema, it's for arthritis, it's for stomach problems. It's for like 12 things like you could take Humira for. It's like ridiculous. It's like, all right, well, if I have eczema now, I know I'll never get
You
arthritis.
didn't know you needed a pharmaceutical, but you do.
You know what I hate the most is like in those commercials, all of a sudden you're listening to like Fleetwood Mac or something.
Well, Alex,
like in the background.
there's one commercial that actually has a song that's kind of catchy, and I looked up online. I was thinking I could find out who wrote it, and there's a whole web page developed to the catchy song for Sky Rizzy.
What's that?
It's the one, "Things are getting clearer. Yeah, I feel free. Nothing on the skin, that's on me. Nothing on the nothing."
Oh my God.
We can cover that.
Thanks
We
for
should
that.
do
I
a
never heard
last
that one
minute
before.
productions video of that.
Yeah, we'll
Of
get
the Sky
sued. If
Rizzy
you do it, Guy Rizzy will sue you, right?
Yeah, we need to do the
Golden
Ozempic
Eagles.
theme song. Ozempic.
Oh, that made me sick when they took that song.
I know.
Just a montage.
Well,
of
what
it.
I'm wondering is what weed commercials are going to be like when they start coming on.
They'll be
Right? We don't have any-
The Magic Dragon.
It's going to be a dead song. You know that.
I mean, that's another Snoop Dogg is going to be all over that one, man. He's
Don't
gonna
bogart that
He
joint.
already owns it.
like that.
All right, check it out. It might be something like this.
How would you like to live in Bulgaria, my darling? Would you like to do your laundry on a wash for my sweet? How would you like to live in Bulgaria, my darling? Would you like to do your laundry on a wash for my sweet? Because that's what you get with communism. No electric toothbrush behind the iron curtain. There are no incentives to produce a better mouth. And because the rats are all high-ranking members of the party.
Wow.
You had to drop that with no lead in.
With no warning.
Randy.
Right after this, the soundtrack to new marijuana ads. That's what they're going to have.
All right.
I
Can I
love the
explain
tone
it?
on the bass, though.
Go ahead. Now you can explain it, Randy.
That's from 1980. I was in a punk band that we made a single, obviously. All right. So that's first off, that's me playing for like a year. All right. So I got to be in front of all these bassists. And we made a record, and we pressed 500 copies of it, sent it out to radio stations, and as you guys know, it went nowhere. However, it's become a collector's
what are you
item.
saying? Because we've gone nowhere. You're saying that we've gone nowhere.
Yeah,
Your record went nowhere.
We put together a demo. We pressed 500 copies, and it went nowhere. That's why.
Right. It did make it into the Encyclopedia of Punk and New Wave, which means collectors need to collect it. And the reason Ed nicely put that video together today is I sent him a link. Cool. It's on eBay now for $250. If you want one, you can. You too can have a copy of that for $250 and $25 shipping. The last one I got outbid by because I don't have. I need a copy. It got outbid at $150, and I saw it going for $500 sometimes. Now, but
wow.
What a genius cut! I think we would all agree, right?
I've already sold the video in Japan for $10,000.
Right. This could be a non-fungible. And we
I
got
know I
to do a
saw you at
non-fungible thing.
TVGBs back 30 years ago.
What are we going to do, Randy? How are we going to make $10,000 off this record?
Like Bitcoin, they now have NFTs, non-fungible, whatever they are.
It uses blockchain, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's unique to you, and it's like pieces of art that can't be duplicated or sold anywhere else, and you own it, and it trades on the open market. That's what we have to do.
All right,
yes,
that's what we're doing.
I like it.
Because
I'll find out how to do that.
is clearly there.
I am definitely going to find out how to do that.
We should start a digital archiving business for music and video media. I work in content management.
Very good.
Let's do it.
I've got some invisible NFTs for sale if you want.
Yeah, but by the way, all those pictures from that photo shoot were taken at the old Save the Children in Westport, Connecticut. The old Save the Children meeting, because the band was named the Dada Banks. Get it? And so we thought it would be really cool to be in front of computers, which in 1980 were,
There were no personal computers in 1980.
No, these are things with reel-to-reel tape and
big stand-up.
Punch cards.
Well,
That's the first computer I had to learn how to program. Had punch cards.
Fortran,
COBOL.
All the instruments are like, you don't have pedals in front of you. They're all just, everything is kind of a raw sound, right? The vocals don't have much. I don't even know if they have any reverb on them. It was kind of interesting to hear. You don't hear.
Oh my God,
sound
Winston played in a punk band.
Pedals,
weren't you the singer in a punk band, Winston?
Winston, you told me that.
Well, yeah, I don't think we have any recording.
He's hoping really quick. It's going
I
through
don't
his
think there's
mind.
anything outstanding from this.
What did you do? What did you?
I couldn't even find. I played mostly bass. I played bass through the punk era, and then guitar through new wave and heavy metal. And I only went back to sax when I started playing world music when I got a little bit older and got too old to play punk and metal. When my hair started going, I had to play sax because I couldn't wave it around anymore.
Is that when you started to play Kenny G?
Yeah, he went to Kenny G.
I did have massive amounts of fun playing punk. I mean, because the performance was actually, now I think of it as probably a good thing we don't have any recordings, because it was all about live performance, right? Yeah. And we were probably
high energy live performance, right?
Yeah. I mean, I played punk like I skied. I tried to be in the air as much as possible, right?
Nice.
And I can't imagine that I was all that precise with the bass at the time.
We'd all hurt ourselves
so
if
much
we were to
fun.
try to play it now.
That's why I walked away. I do.
Yeah, right.
Chris, I have a request. What? I want Chris to tell us some funny stories from your childhood.
Oh my God! Do you have any funny stories?
Good one, Randy.
All right,
Chris,
so he barely remembers.
Chris, turn up your volume. Let's go.
Let's go.
Do you have any embarrassing? Do you have any embarrassing stories?
Embarrassing.
Christoph, do you have any embarrassing stories about me when I was a child?
Can you hear us?
We're waiting with bated ears.
I I didn't understand that. Sorry.
You have to.
Do you have any dirt on Ed?
We want crazy Ed
That's the
story.
basic fun Ed, right?
No,
Yeah.
I remember.
If you don't, make something up.
That's easy.
He at that time he could growl like a rooster. I remember. Really?
Okay, that's embarrassing.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Any
Do it. Come on, Ed. Do it. Do it. Do
Okay.
it. Do it.
Yeah, I can actually do that, right? So
Can you do it?
I haven't done this in years. You know, right? Whatever.
I remember.
This is Christoph and me. This is Christoph right here.
Wow.
And me.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
Do you have
man.
any with later hosen on?
Yeah, well, believe me, we all have later hoses.
Only
Really
on
Everybody's
Sundays.
picture with
Only
later
on
on.
Sundays.
Exactly.
Well, those are the ones I want to see.
We had a lot of fun. I remember we had this is a small village where I grew up and where Ed lived for I think 1 or 2 years, not for too long, 2 years.
Yeah.
And we had a water park at that time there, and we have been in the water park sometimes in summer, and we had a lot of fun. We roamed
It's a great
around,
place.
with
Great
the
place to grow up. Yeah, wonderful. So hold on. I'm going to play the interview that we did, and then Christoph is actually going to play guitar for us. I've got one piece that he did, but I'm going to play the interview. We recorded it offline today, and I'm going to fly that in right now.
Cool.
And welcome back to JMTV. So I haven't done this in a long time. You'll probably notice my shirt has changed. A friend of mine who I had in Austria when I was 10 years old, and I guess he was 8 years old when I was a kid. We lived in Austria for several years, and a friend of mine found me on YouTube. He wasn't sure it was me, and then he saw me with an accordion singing about sharks for Christmas with Santa Claus, and he was like, I think that's probably him. So I'd like to bring on the air my friend from Austria, Christoph Salker. Hi, Christoph. How are you?
Hi, Ed. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we just had a conversation for about 10 minutes in German, which was very hard for me. Okay, so he said, "Oh, you speak German perfectly." Like, oh my God, I have forgotten my German. I can fake it a little bit. I can't find words and all that. But we understood each other pretty well. And now it's your turn to be tortured in English, and I'm sure your English is better than mine.
I'm not sure.
We're going to find out.
I will try it because it's my first time on YouTube, so I'm a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit stage frightened. I hope this is the right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not my first time. We've been doing JMTV since the beginning of the pandemic, so for 57 shows. I lose track sometimes how many shows, so hundreds of hours of doing this music during the pandemic. And it's really nice to find you. Maybe he'll come on the air, actually. I'm going to see if I can get him to come on the air. But my friend Eric Jacobson found me from Japan. And he was my college roommate in Japan. He moved to Japan right after university. And it's kind of fun seeing faces from the past. And what's really strange is I remember you, but I don't remember how you look as an adult person. You know, I remember you as a kid. Like, do I look the same at all? Do you recognize me at all?
No.
No, right.
No.
A little bit. Sometimes I'm like, I remember you. You're in my memory from when we were kids. And you were talking about the fact that I had an organ back then. I had a Lawrence Welk Thomas organ, which was a fancy organ in those days. And did I play it for you when we were there?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. Yeah, it's like what you remember from being a 10-year-old.
I also see your face from this time in my mind.
Right. It's funny how that works.
But
so now tell me about how you got into music. You said you started with the accordion, but you had the common sense to know that was not the right thing for you. What happened with music for you?
I was busy in apprenticeship. after that when I stopped playing accordion, and for years I was in a chorus, in a gospel chorus in the church for years. I played, I sang sometimes and played a little guitar with my father because we had a restaurant, and when there have been marriages, you know, and they left the restaurant at about 12 o'clock a.m. at
right.
midnight. We sang one special song for the bride.
That's great.
My music, and then a workmate from me, an English professor, I'm teacher. He animated me to make music because he's a very good guitar player, and so I tried first to play with my harp with him, and then I started with guitar and learned, and now sometimes before COVID time we had a couple of jam sessions, and also we played by parties. We are 3, sometimes 4 or 5.
I'd love to see a video of that someday. I'm sure you have video of you guys playing.
I will try to make one. Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. So, tell me about the music that you play. You said you play American music. Why is that?
Because always, I think when you and your mother have been in Austria, and the short time we were in contact, I think that influenced me a lot, because I always was after that a big US fan. So I worked for 2 times in California in the holidays in Los Angeles, and I was for 4 times in the United States.
You got the idea to see America and to see American things and do American things when you were with us.
Because I remember your mother had a Cadillac, a Chevy Blazer.
Very good.
All the U.S. stuff that you had, the bicycles and all the other things, that fascinated me at that time, and so I said it already. That influenced me.
Well, that's great. So let's play some music. Are you going to play a song? What are you going to do for us?
Let's try it. I think I start with a Neil Young song, because this was one of my first songs, and I think it's the most famous song from Neil Young, Heart of Gold.
Okay, great. All right, take it away, Chris.
Expressions I never hear that keeps me searching for heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Been to Hollywood, I've been across the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting on, keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting on. Me searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching, I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of
Very nice.
Damn.
I love that song. It's a great song.
Thank you.
That's a great song, Christoph. Nice job on that. Very
Christoph,
nice.
that was very nice. Really well done, man.
Yeah. But I can't see the interview. Did you play the interview?
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
I saw it.
Everybody else saw it. That's strange. Yeah, it played. I'm sorry. It's something went wrong in the
You can go
software.
back and watch the whole show, though. You can watch the whole show, though, right? You can go back to your thing and watch your thing. And
Yeah, later. You can watch the show later on.
Chris, that was really, really good. That was.
It was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you play something for us live? Like, can you do something now?
Get your guitar and play one for us.
I hope my voice. It is 4:30 in the morning now. And I woke up half an hour ago, so I hope something works. Maybe if something don't work good, it depends on the lot of salty water that is between us.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, why don't you play? What are you going to play for us?
I have a CCR song. It's Lodi.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Stuck in Lodi again.
All right, go for it.
Just about a year ago, I sat down on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Things go bad and things got worse, I guess you know that tune. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. I rode in on a Greyhound, I'll be walking out if I go. I was just passing through, must be 7 months or more. Ran out of time and money, looks like they took my friends. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. The man from the magazine said I was on my way. Someone lost connection, ran out songs to play. Came into town for one night stand, looks like my plans fell through.
If I only had $1 for every song I sang, and every time I heard a rain where people said their they no care dream back to where I live. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Stuck in Lodi again.
Very nice. Very nice.
That was 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, you do that. That's
4:30 in the morning. Oh my God,
And-
that's when I go to sleep.
Without the
Report
beer.
started 5.
Without the beer.
Without
That's
the
right.
beer.
Without the beer. Normally, I can play I can calm down.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm a little stage frightened sometimes, so 1 or 2 beer are good, but not this time.
Not
No,
4:30
I
in
do
the
that all the
morning.
time. We call that liquid courage.
Yeah.
Courage, yeah.
It's not vodka. It's
Ah,
We'll go with that.
Nice
That
job.
was- That was excellent, Christoph. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
So,
Well done.
so I don't normally do this, and hopefully you can see this, Christoph, because you might be having a bug, because maybe from international reasons, I don't know, but where you didn't see your own interview. But I'm gonna play Sugarfoot again. I usually don't do that. I don't play the song twice, but would anybody mind if I played it again for Christoph?
It's no problem. I can watch that later on YouTube.
All right. Well, I'm going to play it one more time, and because I got the crew still here, and then I want to play one by Billy and the Showman. I want you to see what this guy does. Billy Foster's a great singer, and there's no.
It usually involves bail money. It had bail money involved almost all the time.
Bail money.
And Billy is married to an Austrian woman. If you didn't pick that up, his wife is from Vienna. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go. Check it out. This is Sugarfoot. I got to show it one more time. It's too good.
Sugarfoot called me last night. Said his girl called him. Said, can I come over? He said, yeah. 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 Said she called him on the telephone. Say, hello, baby, how you doing? Can I come over singing tonight? I promise that you'll be feeling right as you give me love. Hey!
Sugarfoot.
That was great.
Has anybody been able to figure out
What's that? So
what's on her glasses? What is that? Is that like a bee on her glasses?
It's like a gold like bird.
Bullshit! It's Silence of the Lambs. It's a moth.
It's a moth.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's Silence of the Lambs. Because I remember. Did you see that, Christoph? Were you able to see that? Oh, you couldn't see it. You'll have to watch it later. I'm sorry.
Oh,
but I think on her glasses she had the moth from the Silence. I swear to God, I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
Later to Tom, but not today.
So guess
Is she
who
awesome or what? Oh my God!
So listen to this.
Yeah,
Holly absolutely knocks it out of the park, and the horn arrangements were fantastic, and the bass playing was fantastic.
You guys all crushed it. The drumming, Mikey, everything. Winston, the horns, Carl, shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
you'll
good.
definitely have to watch that.
How do I get a copy?
I'm sorry.
I'll
What's
send
that?
it to you, Billy.
All right, good.
I'll send it over.
I gotta
to you.
say this though. This funny story with this is Mike called me up and he's like, hey, hey Carl, what's up? Listen, Holly wants to do a song. I went, I'm in. I don't even know what it is, and it's like that's just the reaction you get if you can play with her. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, and this is a hit too, and I never heard this before. But man,
I haven't either.
That's a new song.
Yeah,
that's not an. It's not an oldie.
No, and you've also said this about a lot of the songs that we do as a group. It's like maybe you listen to it the first time and go, "Oh yeah, no problem," right? Bit of bang, 3 chords, whatever, and then you like listen to it and you go, "Oh, wait a minute, what did I get myself into?"
What was that time change? What was that?
So that was a fun tune.
I'm just gonna play 64th note triplets for 4 minutes until my heart explodes.
It was like the time I got a message from Mikey, and he's like, "Are you ready for a challenge?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It was fucking Coyote with Jocko. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Jocko, come on.
And dude, you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I'm not saying for that reason, but to the point of you never know. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take a challenge." Oh,
whatever. Yeah,
that was a hard song. That was rough.
You come out of your basement
when you said, Randy, when you said like that's your wife's favorite song, I knew that you were gonna play it. Like,
I had to. She would have been like, you had a chance to play what, and you chickened out. I would never live that down. Yes.
Yeah, that's Coyote you're talking about.
Yeah. Lori loves that song. I've been listening to that album since it came out. Still, she plays it.
Hey, Mikey, how long did it take to edit it down to what I saw? How long did it take?
The Sugarfoot?
Yeah.
I did it in 1 day.
1 day? Really?
Yeah, that video there. Yeah.
It's a monster.
Yeah, but you worked with audio for a little bit, right?
The audio. So I mean, the whole thing. So the audio took several weeks because it came in like piecemeal, and then so the whole thing. I mean, if the video editing was 1 day, but like the production of the audio took a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The amount of time that's required to make these things is just mind-boggling to put it all together. Yeah.
I mean, COVID. After COVID, when you're not stuck inside, I hope you're still doing it.
Oh,
it takes it takes a while to get the thing to be good too. Like when I'm doing the horn charts, I'll go through it. But it takes I need to sit on it for a couple of days and make it good. It's one thing to reproduce it, but it's another thing to put, your own touches in it and make it really work. So you can't do it in a day. You can't do it in a day.
I agree. You're right, Winston.
Yeah.
When you mix it down, you got to walk away for a while, at least till the next day, just to get fresh ears on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and
And then
it takes like
how it's layered in. I mean, it really depends how. We always kind of make the jump to light speed or the tipping point at some point where it's like, are you playing against the backing track or then the next group of people coming in, play against the band track, and like where do you jump to light speed kind of thing. And if the band track isn't working, it doesn't work. And it's like there are different songs. Like sometimes it's like with Coyote, it was the guitar first and then Holly, right? And then for Sugarfoot, it was you and JC that laid it down, and then everyone built up on that and had to be in that pocket, and it's but live, it's like, start, man, let's start and just play it.
And live is a whole different thing.
And this way, it's a weird, layered in thing, like. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun as shit. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
The audio,
yeah, that was great. I want that. I want that. I really like that. I really like it.
Yeah. I'll send it over to you. It's like when you're doing the audio too. It takes a while because you put together a mix, then you go and you listen to it in your car, and it might sound not, it might sound different. Then you listen to it with headphones on. And that sounds a little different. And then you listen to it on your smartphone. You just like play it on your smartphone and see how that sounds. And you have to get like a mix that works in everything, so it takes a little while to get to that like little sweet spot,
It's like knitting a sweater. It's like one little tiny thing at a time, and then you have a sweater, Yeah. That's how it works. I'm going to play a Billy and the Showman. I think Christoph has some sort of international bug, but I'm going to play a Billy and the Showman track right now.
I promise hit anybody. I promise.
You'll have to watch it later, but this is a good track. Check it out.
Come on, here, guys.
Come on, everybody, clap your foot. Something. Girl that makes me feel the way that you do, baby. You're alright. Whenever I'm asked what makes my dreams real, girl, I tell them you do. You're out of sight. Well, 3, 5, 4, 4, 4. Look out, baby, because you're mine. I'm begging you, my love, it's true. So get right, girl. I'm gonna try to make you love me too. Well, be fine, look out, baby, 'cause you're on top. I'm making your love true. Don't get lost, baby. I wanna try to make your love true. Don't get lost, you're on top. Oh, Molly, Stone, where he laid his hat was his home. Ain't he from the girl. Brother was a rolling stone, well, he let his hat was his home. When he died, all he left this was alone. You're not a girl that makes me feel with you, baby. You're alright. Whenever I'm asked what makes my dreams real, girl, I tell you do. You're out of sight. Yeah, deep fine. Oh, oh, oh. Look out, baby, because you're not gone. Oh, baby, I love you too. Oh, you love me. I'm gonna try to make you love me too. I tell you, baby, you're not gone. Oh, my girl.
Yeah,
that was great.
That shit's good.
That was awesome. That's one of my favorite Motown tunes. That's great.
That's a great job. I'm sorry you couldn't see it again, Christoph, right?
No.
Oh, I can't believe it. You have to watch back because it's so good.
Yeah.
So what did you just see? You just see us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's some sort of.
It's so weird.
What was I doing?
That's a letdown.
It could be an international thing. It could be a licensing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll figure it out. You'll be able to see it in the show later.
And I got to bail. I'm going to bail tonight.
Yeah,
Randy,
I gotta go.
Great to see you
Yeah,
guys.
do the same thing.
See you,
We'll see
boys.
you guys. Love you all.
Yeah, fantastic to see you, and we'll be right back right after this. We're going to wrap up the show soon, but now we're down to a small, comfortable crew, not such a crazy mass like we had a few minutes ago. So
Exactly.
really good. And Christoph, this is Ray Simonelli. He's one of the well-known musicians and who plays music very similar to what you do. He plays guitar and he sings, and he kind of looks like you with the headphones and the microphone and the guitar and the whole thing. It's like you're the same person, only far away.
Yeah.
And,
I enjoyed your songs, Chris.
Thank you. I enjoyed your songs too because I the first show I saw, it was I think 47 or so, or 48.
Yeah.
So I saw you guys. I know you guys from the live streams.
Oh, right. Okay. You watches the show. It was funny. We did an interview. We had a conversation. We did an interview, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, like on show 51, Randy Stone made a joke that was like, oh my god, he like really knows the shows, you know." It's
and
really
I
kind
love
of
the
fun.
story from you, Billy. You told one time a story when a guy wanted money from you on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
What happened? Did he get punched out, or did he punch him?
No. He when I understand it right, he gave him money, and then he took out a gun or what, or a knife.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was the guy. No, what the guy did was he tried to rob me.
Yeah.
Right? And I stopped him from robbing me because I had a bigger knife than he had. So what I did was I wanted to show what it was like to be robbed. So I said, give me all the money in your pocket. And I made him give me his money. And when he did, I walked over and gave it to a homeless guy sitting against the wall. I gave it to a homeless guy.
Oh, my God.
I had a story when I was my first time when I was in Los Angeles. It was 3 a.m. So we, my friend and I, Bertolt Holzl, I told you, Ed.
Yeah.
We had been on a canoe trip in the Yukon Territory, and after that in California, and we went by bus at 3 o'clock in the morning from Los Angeles International Airport to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
But the shuttle was empty, only Bertold and me and the bus driver. And the bus driver was a black man, and he had jokes like Eddie Murphy. and Bertold, my friend, went in a hotel. We stopped for changing money. We only had this time traveler checks, and we had no cash. So I waited and smoked a cigarette outside of the bus. The bus driver leaned in the door, and it was dark. And then comes a guy around the corner to me and said, "Hey, I need money. Do you have money? I need money." And I was confused, and I had no socks, only sneakers, because after the canoe tour, the socks, 2 weeks and the same socks.
Yeah, they're not good.
I threw it away. I had no more socks. And I said to him, "Look, I have no socks. Please give me socks. Please give me socks." And the guy made so, turned around, and moved away.
Really?
The whole Finnish drive we had, the bus driver, he laughed and laughed and can't stop. "Oh, Jesus, I never heard this. That's crazy. I have no socks."
Yeah, but you turn around on them, it makes a major difference when you turn it around on them. They don't realize what they're doing until it happens to them. Then they get it.
That's a very funny story. Yeah, talk about a trip. You go to the Yukon and then you go to Los Angeles. The two opposite places. There could not be any more different.
Yeah, it was like a hammer.
Right.
On the head.
Right. That's amazing. That's amazing. Hey, Henry, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Henry! What's up, bud?
Hey, how's it going, Billy?
Henry.
Not too bad, man. How you doing?
I'm glad you made it on. So you got on the screen right now, you got Billy Foster, you got Ray Simonelli, me, and my friend Christoph Salker from, I don't know if you've been watching the show, but he's dialing in at 5 in the morning from Austria.
I've been checking it, cutting in and out. Was he the one on the accordion?
No, I was playing the accordion while he was playing a guitar and singing different things.
Or was he the punk? Who was doing the punk stuff?
Oh, no, that was Randy Stone doing the punk rock stuff.
Oh, okay. I had it on in the background, so I wasn't sure who was who, but yeah, I heard all.
So Christoph, you need to understand that we have to explain to Henry what's on the screen because he can't see; he's blind. So we have to explain to him, and he's a great drummer. Henry is a great drummer. I miss playing with you, Henry. In fact, I was missing you at the boat club the other day.
I ended up crashing, and I just got up, rubbed my eyes. I watched for a little bit while.
We got to do it again, and we're going to do that again. Not all the time, but maybe once a month for now.
Isn't Dave doing the Westport thing Saturday?
Dave Brow is doing the Westport thing on Saturday with a whole bunch of bands, a lineup. I don't know if it's going to be a jam. Probably late. It might turn into something. But there's a lot of acts. I mean, Allie and Shane are
It should be fun to sit out and talk to everybody. See everybody.
Yeah, I can't make it. My jam van blew a transmission for the second time. I got 100 miles off the second transmission for the repair, and it blew up. Something went wrong. So I'm waiting for them to tell me. But I might come. There's a small chance that I could come. But I got to figure out what's happening with that. It's in Connecticut right now, and got to get the jam band going for the summer. But there'll be lots of opportunities for live music, and we'll be back at the boat club again, Henry. And I'd love to have you come down when we do that.
All right, I got to go kiss my baby. Bye, everybody.
All right, good to see you, Billy Foster. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap up Jam TV shortly. I'm actually in the summer trying to do the show shorter. I'm trying to do a 3-hour show instead of a 4-hour show, and we're already at 3.5 hours. So whatever it is, but I'm going to play a little bit of my good friend Steve Wexler to play us out. We always do this, so Christoph doesn't know. Steve, you've probably seen Steve play. He's a very energetic drummer, and he unfortunately passed away last year. So we play this in tribute for him. So, Christoph, really good to see you. Ray Simonelli, Hank, great to see you on Jam TV, and hope to see you very soon.
Likewise, man.
Okay, here comes Steve Wexler, and I'll see you guys next time on Jam TV.
One, two, three, four.